Well, I'm gonna use.
Dude, they can hear you. They can't hear me.
Как обычно в 22 часа запрыгнуть в лабутены и успеть накраситься и закрыть глаза, улыбается. Она живет, как будто каждый вечер пятница. Одной улыбкой разбивает сердце, но она просто любит засыпать и танцевать одна. И закрыть глаза, улыбается. Все смотрят на нее, и ей это нравится. Она сумасшедшая, но она моя. Танцует до утра, поет ша-ла-ла-ла-ла. Сумасшедшая, но она моя. Танцует до утра, поет ша-ла-ла-ла-ла. Ша-ла-ла-ла, ша-ла-ла-ла. Сумасшедшая, но она моя. Танцует до утра, поет ша-ла-ла-ла-ла. Смоки, айс, мейкап и новый роликс на руках. Убегает от своих проблем на каблуках. И закрыв глаза, улыбается. Она живет, как будто каждый вечер пятница. Подруги разбежались по танцполу, но она просто любит засыпать и танцевать одна. И закрыв глаза, улыбается. Все смотрят на нее, и ей это нравится. Она сумасшедшая, но она моя. Танцует до утра, поет ша-ла-ла-ла-ла. Сумасшедшая, но она моя. Танцует до утра, поет ша-ла-ла-ла-ла. Ша-ла-ла-ла, ша-ла-ла-ла. Сумасшедшая, но она моя. Танцует до утра, поет ша-ла-ла-ла. Она сумасшедшая, но она моя. Танцует до утра, поет ша-ла-ла-ла-ла. Сумасшедшая, но она моя. Танцует до утра, поет ша-ла-ла-ла-ла.
Now, how much more multicultural can you get? That is a little Russian ditty from about a half dozen years back by somebody named Alex Sparrow. The name of the song is She's Crazy But She's Mine. And it's weird because this may sound crazy, but I think that the song is better in Russian than it actually is in the English language version of it. It's got better syncopation to it, I should say. But hey, everybody. It's me, it's Mario. Not really, but I'm here. I'm here, I exist. There's been a lot of weird shit going on in the past, good God, 2 months. 3 months almost? No, 2 months. And I've really been very hush about it. It's IRL shit. People can go ahead and fight and fuss and fidget and cannibalize their own goddamn neighborhood. But I was not going to throw that in as fodder, as food for thought. I've talked a little bit about it on a couple of other shows, but I never went into detail, never told the story from beginning to what it is currently. So, with that in mind, let me go ahead and I will get some hellos done, and then we'll get right over to the bar, and you get to hear a story. Come and listen to a story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer, couldn't get him any head. Oh wait, that's that's a different one. Okay, so, and Bastard Beast isn't here, but good morning, Bastard Beast. Good morning, Ghost Dog 999. Good morning, Outlaw. Good morning, Gaming and Yelling. Good morning, Sora Luna. Good morning, Willie Cogley. Good morning, Toya. And sometimes she ain't nice, but most of the time she is. Good morning, Goat Man. Good morning, Turish. Good morning, and have a wrench. Kisses Ree. I think I said that right. Good morning, Killing Joke. Good morning, Pants Ninja. Let's see. I'm scrolling. Good morning to Dead Body Man. And I think I threw you a wrench too. Yeah, I did. And good morning to W.R. Caustic. Welcome everybody to the show. Glad you could be here. Let's go to the bar, shall we? We might need a drink or two for this. By the way, I did want to mention right at the top. Tonight is night number 9. And currently, right now, the Turish AI is holding the Nintendo Champion World! That's right. Night number 9, proof in the pudding. He finishes with that belt around his waist. He goes into the Hall of the Immortals. Our first non-living. Well, it's AI, so not basically alive. So Cyberdyne Systems is calling, and oof. The machines are just around the corner. Hey, James Cameron may be a fucking thief when it comes to stealing ideas for movies, but damn, that was a good movie. 1 and 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, not so much. Let's see here. And let me light a cigarette. Good. Tasty. By the way, you guys are going to hear my fan. Nothing I can do about that shit except for start sweating like a pig and letting this room heat up. So, not going to happen. Welcome to that world. So, you're going to hear the nice, soft, subtle hum. You guys will have a Hummer all night. So, welcome to it. And yeah, let me put this down. I don't think I did that right. Fuck me. Come on now. Do this correctly. I had problems with the brilliance that is OBS because I haven't updated, and I haven't updated and I haven't updated. And then all of a sudden, all my audio was fucking gone. So I had to think, like, what would an engineer at OBS do to fuck with people who refuse to update? Thinking about it that way, it made sense. So I got everything back. And fuck you, OBS. Good morning, JJ. Nice to see you. Okay, so this whole story starts off legit probably about 6 or 7 weeks ago. And I woke up in the morning and the sheet was sticking to my right foot. And I'm like, what the serious fuck is going on? Now, honestly, I have pictures of all of this, but I have been advised to not show these pictures because you'll find out later in the story, these are definitely not very appetizing. So I pull the sheet away, and there's probably like a wound, and it's not like a stabby wound, or it's not like a bruised wound. It's just like kind of open wound, and about the size, maybe of a quarter. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is this? Good morning, Nostradamus. I had no idea what the hell it was. I had no idea how I got it, because of course, you know, if I was drunk, I would definitely blame it on that, because, you know, I'm prideful of my drinking. But it was also on the interior of my ankle, a spot that was between my ankle and my heel. And I had no idea what the hell it was, what was going on. I've already been to the wound care specialists at the hospital when I shaved the skin off my shins down to the bone. So I knew how to work that. So I'm like, okay, I'll treat it the exact same way. And, you know, eventually, you know, it's going to go away. I'll cover it. I'll do the silver sulfidine on it. I'll do, also I was doing hydrogen peroxide on it to boil anything out, because I had no idea how long this has been there. And so I'm taking care of it. I know I've got a doctor's appointment coming up in like 3 weeks or so. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and just do basic wound care on it, keep it going till I get in. Till I get in there, doctor can take a look at it, and we can do a diagnosis from there. So it gets about, I think it was almost about a month away. It gets about 2.5, 3 weeks. And it's not getting any better, but it's not getting critically worse. But it has grown to the size of like a silver dollar. Good morning, Sir Adamantine. So, I am essentially thinking, you know, I probably do want to get in, see if I can get in a little earlier, because, you know, it does have like that weird, not skin tone, kind of yellowish scab trying to form, and there's a little bit of black in it, and I'm like, oh, maybe I need to go to my doctor. And I called in to my doctor. Of course, I didn't get him, because what doctor ever actually really calls you back? And I say, listen, you know, I've got this thing on my foot, and it's not looking too good, and I'm doing a regimen on it, and it's it's really not getting any better. Oh, wait, I am mistelling this story because I did see him previously, and I showed it to him, and he's just like, you know what you need to do? You need to stop. You need to stop with the hydrogen peroxide and just keep it covered and blah, blah, blah. So we get to the point where I'm like, it's getting worse. So, what am I going to do? And they're like, well, you've got an appointment in a week. Just come in a week. So I came in a week. The thing was bigger than a silver dollar, and it was starting to blacken. I was called and told that I should stop doing the hydrogen peroxide and stop doing the silver sulfonamide. Just make sure it stayed clean and make sure it stayed covered. So I go in there and I see him. Takes me about an hour. I mean, it takes like 10 minutes in the waiting room, and they show me to a room, and then it takes another hour. I've learned with this joker to go ahead and bring like a trade paperback or a novella or something. Some shit I can read to keep me occupied, because I have fallen asleep waiting for his ass. And he comes in. We take the bandage off, and of course the nice healthy pus runs out, but it's the clear kind. It's not that weird yellowish ichor color. And he takes a look at it and he goes, well, I tell you what, let's go ahead and we'll get you on antibiotics. We'll do doxycycline. And I'll give you a 10-day supply of doxycycline. Then you come and see me in 10 days. Now, he did not take a biopsy. He didn't cut a sample on this. And they didn't put any type of salve or cream or any type of wound thing. He just told me use bacitracin on it. And they didn't even put any bacitracin on it. They literally used no chemicals when I was in there, and the nurse basically just wiped it down, took like a clean wipe and wiped it down, and then put a bandage on it. Sent me out the door. I pick up the script. Okay, this is on a Thursday. I pick up the script. I'm, religiously taking my doxycycline twice a day, and I get to Monday and I get my mail. In my mail is a divorce letter from my doctor saying that they're waving goodbye to me because of incompatibility. So this fucker, not even halfway through the regimen that he prescribed, cut me loose. Now, I don't know if it was because he looked at it and didn't want to deal with it, didn't want any type of liability, any of that bullshit, but he cut me loose. So all I had was no primary care physician, and from now on I'll just call them a PCP. I had no PCP. I did have appointments for like 2 weeks down the road because I was going to drop this jackass anyway. Because he was really not into the business of medicine. He was into the business of his own business. So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. You know what? I'll finish up the regimen. I had an appointment with my podiatrist just to get a toenail clipping. And it was the first time that I ever saw this guy. He was referred. My ex-PCP was the king of referrals. Oh, good morning, Bunny. So I see him on Thursday. He kisses me off on Monday. On Wednesday, I go into my podiatrist. He cuts my nails and he's like, what's that why do you have that bandaged up? And I'm like, oh, do you want to see it? He's like, yeah, I'm a foot doctor. I look at feet all day. I open it up, and he goes, wow, what are you on? And I'm like, well, he prescribed me doxycycline before he fired me as a patient. And he's like, no, I'm going to get you a much stronger antibiotic. And it's kind of funny because the antibiotic that he prescribed to me, he gave me 2 sample pills, until I could get to the pharmacy to pick up this prescription. He's like, we're going to set you for 7 days. I want to see you back in my office in 7 days. So there was a prescription there for 7 days worth of pills. Well, actually 5 days worth of pills, because it was 1 per day. And just to jump ahead in the story, when I went to the pharmacy, they wanted, for 5 pills, $2,331 for 5 pills. Immediately, I called the podiatrist and I'm saying, no, that shit ain't gonna work. Not for me. I mean, I got that money, but that money's, for other things like rent. Oh, good morning, Buzz. Nice to see you. And so the foot doctor goes, well, hold on. Let me go ahead. Can I, I'd like to take a biopsy on this. I'd like to take a sample. And I'm like, yeah, go for it. So he takes a sample. He's the one who actually saline washes the wound. He puts like a type of cream on it, and then they bandage it back up. And he's like, don't worry about bandages. These are the kind that you should be using. I'm going to call in to the medical people, because I know Medicaid and Medicare cover this stuff, and you'll have a box sitting on your doorstep by Friday. I'm like, shit, okay, cool, whatever. As long as I got somebody who's kind of taking the reins on this. And he's like, and I also noticed that your leg's kind of swollen. And I'm like, yeah, I've got DVTs in my legs. And the doctors have said, yeah, those blood clots, they're not going away. There's something DVTs, you're just going to have to deal with it swelling on occasion. Good morning, Lucky Skunk. And I'm like, all right. I took their word for it. And my podiatrist was like, I know a really good vascular surgeon. Can we get you an appointment? Would you go see him? I'm like, hell yeah. I'll go see him. I mean, I got nothing but time now. So, fuck it. Yeah, I'll go. I got the gas. So, he's like, I'm going to pass your information over. And I want to see you here next Wednesday. And we'll go over your test results from this biopsy. I'm like, all right, cool. And so I'm, the pill thing happened. He re-prescribed me something else, which was powerful and covered by my insurance. And and that literal night, that Wednesday night, when I saw him, I got a call at 8 at night from the vascular surgeon's office saying, yeah, hey, you were referred to us. We'd like to get you in. How does Wednesday sound? And I'm like, well, I'm going to be in that part of the neighborhood because I'm going to go see my podiatrist again. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we'll schedule you. We've got an 8 o'clock appointment. And I'm like, 8 at night? And they're like, oh, no. 8 in the morning. And I'm like, fuck me. I'm like, okay, because the appointment was at 10 o'clock for the podiatrist. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I will make sure and try to wake up for it. And so I actually did. I went in to the vascular surgeon first, because after he was done with me, then I just hop, skip, jump across the street, almost literally across the street, to go to the medical complex where the podiatrist was. I get to the vascular surgeon. First and foremost, he's not wearing a mask. Completely wins coolness points with me. He shakes my hand. More coolness points are passed out. And he goes, okay, well, let me see it. And I put my leg up, and the nurse unravels it. And let's just say that I started getting paranoid when that smell came in. And this is the only way I can describe the smell of what that wound was. Like, say you get like a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast. Pull it out of the freezer. You set it out on your counter to thaw. And you leave it in the sun. And you forget about it for like 2 or 3 days. That's what it smelled like. So there was rot going on. And it was black. It was getting black. Very black. And what I didn't know at the time is that when the podiatrist recommended me to the vascular surgeon, there was barely a pulse in my foot. They could barely feel a pulse. So there wasn't any fresh blood flowing regularly to be able to help combat the infection that I had. Because it was an infection at that point, definitely. So, the vascular surgeon looks at me and he goes, you know what? You probably have a lot of blood clots in your leg. That's why it keeps swelling up. And he's like, and I'm not feeling a strong pulse in your foot. He's like, the thing I suggest right now is, and this is crucial, we need to get a biopsy of this wound, and then we can go from there. And I was like, well, shit. My podiatrist took a biopsy last week. And that's what I was going to his office for today. And the surgeon looked at me and goes, hold on for a minute. So he leaves the room. Comes back 10 minutes later. Oh, good morning, Ed. Comes back. Looks at me, just deadpan. And he goes, you need to go to the hospital, and you need to go to the hospital today. Now. And I'm like, what? He's like, this infection is bad. You need to go to the hospital. This infection is bad enough to where you could lose your leg. And in order to try and prevent that, you got to go to the hospital. And I'm like, I got to get some shit in order. Is it okay if I get my shit in order? Because, you know, where I live right now, I'm by myself, so I need to make sure people stop by, pick up mail for however long. He's like, you'll probably be in for like 3 to 5 days. And I'm like, okay, just let me get shit set. And I will go directly to the hospital. So I call up a couple buddies, say, hey man, shit's going down. I need somebody to watch out for my place. I know I got Ring, so life's good. I stopped by, I got my battery charger picked up for my phone. I'll only have my phone going in. So, you know, emailing me is shit. At this point, texting, you know, whatever. That kind of bullshit. Okay, got my shit done, got my shit out the way. And I go immediately to the hospital. And my vascular surgeon had me walk into the emergency room, basically say who I am, and hand them his business card. He was like, you literally hand them the business card, you're going back automatically. I handed him the business card. Emergency was like, okay, yeah, we got shit waiting for you. Boom. Off on a wheelchair. I went to a gurney, and there were people coming in like every 30 minutes, drawing blood and putting in IV lines and hooking me up to IVs and shit. And they're like, well, you know, are you in pain? And, you know, I know the trick about if you're in pain, they give you drugs. But I really wasn't in that much pain because I have diabetic neuropathy in my feet. Yet another reason why I probably never felt that wound happen. So, not really feeling it, but being like, yeah, you know, I guess kind of I could use a little bit of a buzz. You know, hit me with a little pain med to calm me the fuck down. Because, you know, I've been told, you know, I could lose my fucking leg. Good morning, Psycho. I'm going to go with Faya. Psycho Faya. So yeah, they calmed me down with some Dilaudid, and it took like very little time whatsoever before they had me geared up and were taking me upstairs to the cardio floor. And my doctor comes up, my vascular surgeon comes up to me and goes, okay, I want to make sure that I talked to you before I went home. This is a very severe infection. I am not kidding you. You can literally lose your leg off this. So we've got a battery of tests that we've run, and they literally did anything you can think of. EKG, MRI, CAT scan. What's the thing they do with when they're doing the pregnancy thing? Ultrasound. I mean, literally any imaging fucking thing they could do, they did. So he's like, listen, the infection's there. We got to get it. We got to cut it out. We sincerely have to get rid of this. If you're actually in my my dick ward, if you're in the ward, I did actually put up a picture of what I look like after the surgery. I don't know if it's still there or not. Yeah, it's still there. I will do this as my only no context tweet for this story, because I am not shitting you. This is gross. So there is what my foot looked like after they did the surgery on me. And I'll give you guys a moment just to absorb that. Matter of fact, I'll put it down again at the General in Dickord. So that's what it looked like. Now the white part is not bone. They actually did not have to dig all the way down to the bone. So they took me into surgery the very next day. They did this surgery. And, okay, I don't know if anybody's had surgery lately, but I didn't get this. But I came in and they stripped me down, right? And they legitimately took wet towels and put my arm, they wrapped my arms in wet towels. And they tucked them underneath my torso. Then they took another wet towel, put it across the top of me, and then tucked it under my torso, like some type of weird thing that they knew that I had a Doc Griffin gimmick. And good God, they got me. They fucking got me. And just as I was passing out, I'm like, you guys are going to unwrap me, right? And boom, I went out. So I woke up. This was the wound. And what they did was they took what's called a wound vac pump. And they hooked it. This is to my right foot. And they, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm telling this out of school. I apologize. This was the second surgery. I forgot about the all-important first surgery. The first surgery was the vascular surgeon going into my crotch, where there's a main artery, and they ran a line all the way down into my right leg, and they roto-rootered everything from the knee down. They roto-rooter took all the blood clots out from the knee down. And immediately after this surgery, when I woke up, I took a look at it, and the swelling was gone in my foot. There was better color in my foot. And the doctor was like, you now have an incredibly strong pulse in your foot. This is very good. So, when the doctor came in, he's like, there's still a possibility that you could lose your leg or your foot. And I'm like, just fucking do the magic you do, because I could see the difference from my foot, from my leg right now. So you're working wonders, and you're not like that dickhead PCP that would have been cool to have my leg fucking fall off. And so they decide, first, my second night in. Well, my second morning in, second day, first full day. Okay, we understand now. They do the blood clot removal. And I swear to God, when they shaved my fucking pubes, they were using an electric razor, and it slipped in the nurse's hand, and she chewed up like part of my inner thigh. And I had like a little short stubby cat claw marks all over my fucking inner thigh. That was unbelievable. But anyway, so we're getting set up. They did the blood clot removal thing. Okay, tomorrow morning we're going to have this done. Well, not tomorrow morning. They did the surgery. I went in on a Wednesday. They did the first surgery on a Thursday. Now, what Thursday would you ask? Why, that would be Thursday, July 1st. Guess what? They were running on a minimum staff. And I'm like, all right. I don't know what we're going to do at this point. And the doctor was like, well, we got the clots removed. Everything looks great. So I'd like to schedule it for Friday, but I don't think we can get time for it. So we're going to make sure. And they hooked me up on hardcore IVs. Hardcore. Vancomycin is probably one of the most extreme antibiotics. They use them for MRSA infections. So he's like, I don't think we can get to it until Saturday. So you got a day to wait. And I'm like, oh, fuck. All right. You know best. What's going to be is going to be. Only thing I can do is be the patient. And that Friday, I was trying to get out of bed. So, because I was hooked up to, I shit you not, I was hooked up to, well, let's put it this way. I had 3 IV lines run into me. And at any given time, I had a bag attached to one of them. I felt like fucking Pinocchio, popping on a string. Of course, the bad side about that was they tried to run an IV line 5 times, or 10 times. Out of those 10 times, they blew out veins 5 times. So I was a little bit trepidatious anytime they're like, we got to run a line. I'm like, how many years have you run lines? No, years not good enough. Fuck it, bring somebody in. They actually have a devoted team in the hospital that will run the line. And I'm like, I don't want anybody but that team to touch me. Because they would come in and go, oh, okay, yeah, zip, zap, boop, in, done. Then they go on about their way. But I was also hooked up to a heart monitor. So I kind of swing out of the bed so I can take a piss. Because I got like one of those handheld urinal things. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't like to piss laying in a bed. You know, standing up, yes, I'm good with that. So I go to swing out of the bed and I slip and I almost fall. And I'm like, whoa! And the heart monitor goes, bloop. It's like, yeah, because I just had a shot of fucking adrenaline. There was a nurse in there at the time goes, oh no, that's an erratic heartbeat. We have to do something about this. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, well, that's an erratic heartbeat. You can't do any type of surgery. You can't go under anesthesia with an erratic heartbeat. And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. You know, we're talking about the stakes being, you know, changing my nickname to like Peg Leg Doc. Don't fuck with me on this. And so they did fuck with me on it. And I had to go and take a heart stress test. Now, keep in mind, my blood pressure has been level model citizen blood pressure. Like, usually the average was like 120 over 60. So, really good blood pressure. Good morning, Bearman Prophecy. And I was like, this is dumb. And they're like, well, it has to be done. So they put the surgery on a postponement until they could get me in to do the stress test on Saturday. Saturday, I do it. I do the stress test. Now, here's the fun with the stress test. The stress test, you've seen them in movies and TV shows, and maybe you've done one occasionally. But the stress test is you're basically running on a treadmill while you're hooked up to wires so they can monitor your heart. Well, I got this big infection on my foot. There's no fucking way I'm going to be able to do a stress test. So they did what was called a chemically induced stress test. And it's just me laying on the gurney. They shoot me up with something. And before they do it, they do the, well, now, I just want to make sure, there are some side effects to this. And some people will find shortness of breath. Some people will find a tightness in their chest. Some people will feel like they're having a real fast heartbeat. Some people get headaches with the rush of blood, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, let's just, do this. And we did it. And they jacked my heart rate up as high as they could get it. Still nothing. Once the chemical was flushed, right back down to normal. However, I got this sudden and desperate urge to shit. And I'm like, wait a minute, hey guys, I'm not kidding. I really have to shit myself at this point. I need a bedpan or something right now. So the nurse, as they're wheeling me back, are like, oh yeah, that's a side effect of it. And I'm like, really? That's something that you really need to actually tell somebody? Because, passing the stress test, they think everything's over, and then all of a sudden, I have to shit myself? Come on. So they take me back to this, like, I've always called it the loading bay. Because they'll, like, after you're done with the surgery or something, they'll wheel you into a part of the hospital where it's nothing but beds, or it's nothing but places to roll the gurneys in to let the people wake up from the anesthetic. So they wheeled me into this thing. I'm completely conscious. They wheeled me into this fucking thing, and I'm like, I tell the nurses, I'm like, I am not lying. Get me a bedpan now. I'm going to shit myself. And the last thing I want is to shit all over this bed. Because you guys have to wheel me back. And there's no way I want to roll in and roll out while you try to change the sheets on a damn gurney. So please go get me a bedpan. And there were two nurses. One of them stayed with me. The other one ran and got me a bedpan. They tucked it up under my ass. And now I kind of know what like women feel like when they're getting like a gynecological examination. Because like my knees are up. Because they had to slide the bedpan under me. And both of the nurses are sitting there like staring at my twig and berries. And I look at it and I'm like, hey, unless you're paying admission, get the fuck out of here. I got the bedpan. That's all I need. So they left. And I tell you what, no sooner did that curtain closed, I started producing soft serve. One of the things they don't tell you is when you're under extreme and intense antibiotic treatment, it turns your shit to soft serve ice cream. It really does. And I legitimately, the whole stay there, I never wanted to have a bowel movement because, I filled that fucking bedpan. I swear to God. And I'm like, and you know what the worst part about this story is? And the nurse is like, what? And I'm like, well, she's got to take the bedpan away, but you get to wipe my ass. So, they get that business done with, and they wheel me back. So it postpones the surgery. I'm on heavy-duty antibiotics. I'm okay with that. They're like, well, you must be in pain, so we're going to keep giving you pain meds. And so they went from one of the nurses' great ideas. She took a look and she was like, they're giving you liquid Dilaudid. That's okay for about 2 hours, but the kind of pain you're going to be in, no, I'm going to switch it. I'm like, what are you switching it to? She's like, well, I'm going to switch it to liquid oxycodone. And I'm like, 6 of one, half dozen of another, I guess. But yeah, without a doubt, liquid oxy will fuck you up for twice as long. So we get through it. Of course, Sunday is the 4th. There's no fucking way there's going to be surgery done. So once again, I'm sitting in the bed eating meals that are purposely made to taste bad because they found out that the actual catering food company that they had previously, the food was so good that that indigents and the homeless and poor people would fake having a problem so they could get hospitalized and get 3 squares and a free air-conditioned bed. So in order to counteract that, they founded a company that was kind of shitty in what they did. And that chased away all the indigents and the homeless and the poor people looking to have a vacation in the hospital. That's a true thing. That is a real thing. I've seen that happen more than once. So he was like, listen, surgery, and it was nice because the vascular surgeon stopped in every fucking day and said, here's where we are. This is what's going on. We did this. We're trying this. You're currently right now hooked on to 2 different antibiotics, and then the other line was a saline and a pain line. Still hooked up to the heart monitor. So I got all strings to hold me down. And he's like, yeah, the closest we can get is Monday. But your stress test came back. Everything's good. Monday. We're going to do the surgery Monday. I'm like, all right, cool. I can definitely handle that. Monday comes around. They wheel me in very early in the morning. And I'm an insomniac anyway, so I'm not sleeping. They're like, they give me the goofy juice, and that's pain medication. That's not sleep medication. So they decide to put me on some type of sleep meds. And the only time I fell asleep was just before I went into surgery both times. I mean, I literally conked out for a couple hours. And they had to wake me up so they could anesthetize me. So we get to Monday. They cut me. And that's the wound that you see. They cut me deep. They cut everything out. And there's really nothing you can do at this point to close the wound. There's no way you can stitch that up because, you've got something that's larger than a silver dollar. I could. Okay, we should be live. Let's just.
Hey, it worked.
Don't go. Oh.
Well, I saw the wheel again. It's not my fault. I saw the wheel.
It always makes me think of Project Blue Book, the old TV show from the 70s. It starts off with the line, Ezekiel saw the wheel. This is the wheel he said he saw. And it shows a UFO thing. I'm back in the saddle again. Okay. So, we're to Monday. They cut all the shit out. And they're going to keep me for a few days. But the doctor comes in and says, listen, I need to run another MRI. Now that we've got that out of there, I need to run another MRI. And I'm like, all right, cool. So tomorrow we got an MRI. And I don't know what's going on, but the head of the infectious diseases department shows up. And for me, I was sitting there, I was laughing and joking with everybody, making them feel good about stuff. And usually if I make somebody feel good about something, I'm not feeling bad about the bullshit that's happening to me. It's a nice trick. People should do it more often. So, I try to crack jokes on this guy. And I don't know if this will make any sense, but he's scientifically autistic. I mean, he's really, really good at his job, or else he wouldn't be the head of the fucking department. But some sacrifices had to be made, like a sense of humor. Like the fucking ability to recognize that a joke was just told. He comes in, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the guy from I'm the doctor, the head of infectious diseases, and we're looking at this thing closely. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get an MRI on it, but this is kind of serious. This is really pretty serious." And I'm like, "All right, cool. You're on the case." He's like, "Yes, I am fascinated by this case, and this will be a case that I oversee." I'm like, "Fucking A, all right, cool. I'm not paying any more for you, but awesome." And so my vascular surgeon comes in. He's the one who also did the operation just to cut out that plug of infection. And he tells me, he's like, "Listen, the surgery, the vascular surgery went really, really well. This surgery went really, really well. We got everything that was around the flesh and bone and everything. The good part about it was down there between the ankle and the heel, there's not a lot of musculature. So they didn't have to cut into muscle or sinew or anything. They didn't have to fuck me up." So he was like, "Listen, I'm not going to kid you still. We're not out of the woods yet. We got to check a couple things. We got to do this MRI, but you're not out of the woods yet. I can say with certainty that you're not going to lose your leg, but you still can lose your foot. So let's get that MRI done tomorrow, and then we'll know where to go from there." So we get the MRI done. Early in the morning, of course, because why not? Or no, wait a minute. They did it late at night because early in the morning, my vascular surgeon, the first stop he made was to me. And he goes, "Well, I don't know any other way to say this, but we found the infection. It's in your bone now. It's in the backbone of your foot. And I don't know if you talked to the infectious diseases guy. One of the reasons why he signed on is you have 4 different types of bacillus virus that was in that wound. And all 4 of those are essentially in the marrow of your bone. Your bone is completely infected. So we're going to amp up the antibiotics. And we're going to see if we can chase this out." Now, for the longest time in my life, I always thought I was allergic to penicillin. Something that my mom reinforced. I had an anaphylactic shock happen once when I was 9 or 10. So they automatically assumed that's what it was. The infectious diseases guy comes in the very next day and he's like, "Listen, I'm not going to kid you. It's a difficult thing to try and treat this without something that isn't penicillin based. So can I try an experiment?" And I'm like, "Shit. Okay, why not? Go for it." So they bring me in a syringe with no needle on it. They bring me in a syringe with a bunch of pink stuff. And he just looks at me almost completely deadpan and goes, "It's bubblegum flavor." And I'm like, "Okay, so what is it?" He's like, "This is a form of penicillin that we give to children. If you have an allergic reaction to it, it will not be severe, and then we're okay." Dude, I have no idea what the hell it was. I cannot tell you, Bear Man, because I do not know. I wasn't actually told specifically what it was. So they filled my mouth full of the best bubblegum flavor penicillin they could come up with, and I didn't have a reaction. And the infectious diseases guy was in there almost immediately, like an hour afterwards, going, okay, it worked. So we've got this really aggressive treatment that we're going to try out. And you've got 4 different kinds of bacillus virus. This is going to be tough, but it's going to be challenging. And he said, my word, challenging. Because I never, ever think of anything as an obstacle. I always think of it as a challenge. Something to be overcome. Something that has the ability to be overcome. And he's like, so we're going to start you on this aggressive treatment. We're going to keep you in here just for a few days because we want to make sure that we're monitoring what's coming out of the wound with the wound vac. And I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, also, we want to make sure that the that what we're treating you with, now that we once we go to the big boy doses, that's not going to fuck you up either. It's like, all right, cool, great. So we do that. We get another 2-3 days down the line. I ended up being in the hospital for 9 days, and on the last day, they're getting ready to check me out. That they're getting ready to kick me to the curb. So I forget what it's called, but it's the get the fuck out of here speeches. Here's the paperwork. Here's the stuff that you need to learn and know. And literally, the nurses had like a 12-page thing. I mean, usually I get like 2 pages worth, but they had like 12 fucking pages. And they were just like, rest as much as possible, elevate your foot as much as possible, blah, 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 blah. And then they get about 2/3 of the way through, and I'm like, listen, I only have so much brain power right now because I'm drugged up and sincerely, I have short-term memory loss. It happened, it's a thing, I deal with it every day. But here's the thing. You're not going to be able to get through all these 12 pages before I start forgetting all this shit. I'm a Kelly Bundy, this motherfucker. Whatever information goes in my brain is going to kick out whatever information that first came into my brain. So, I will let you know when I hit that point. By the way, I should mention that the nursing staff, except for 2 people who are real douchebags, the nursing staff was wonderful to me. I was very kind to them because there's no real reason for me to be a dick, unless somebody's being a dick to me. So I try to keep that philosophy. Not only, in my persona here, but also I do it in real life. The one thing that really freaked me out was that when they said, well, we're going to send you home, before you leave, though, we're going to have a PICC line installed. Now, for those of you who don't know what a PICC line is, a PICC line is something that is, well, here, wait a minute. I think, yeah, I did put a picture up of it. So let me just get the picture. And I can share that. I can do 2 no context tweets. That's right, two no context tweets in one. So what it is it's an intravenous feed line, and it's basically made to get the juices flowing faster around. Because what they do is, and here's the, I'll also put it in general. What they do is they essentially take that big vein that's right next to your heart. And they run a very thin tube from from essentially an IV that they put into your bicep. And they came into my room. They came into my hospital room and did the procedure. I'm like, wouldn't this be good in, like, I don't know, sterile environment, you know? Something. And she was like, don't worry, we have clean towels and we have sterilization procedures and blah, blah, blah. And she was another autistic person. So she wasn't getting shit. She thought I was blowing her shit while she was doing stuff. Now, her assistant, well, he got everything that I was saying. He understood the jokes and blah, blah, blah. And at one point, I looked at him while they were getting ready to insert the PICC line. I was like, can you translate for her or something? And he just kind of laughed. But yeah, they got the PICC line installed. So they sent me home with a wound vac pump and a PICC line. And they said, my vascular surgeon said, okay, so here's what we're going to do. You're going to take 6 months, or 6 weeks. God, months. I blow my fucking brains out. He's like, you're going to do 6 full weeks of antibiotics. In that time, we'll schedule appointments with you and stuff. And then you're also going to have the wound vac on. And we'll have nurses come out from time to time to change the wound vac, to change the bandages around the PICC line. And, here's some other stuff. They gave me like 3 different oral blood thinners. Because that was one of the bags that was hooked up 24/7 was a blood thinner. I forget which one it was. But they said, okay, we're going to send you home with this. Now, you might find it difficult to get around. And I'm like, well, hell yeah, because I got a fucking pump hooked to my damn foot. I mean, and they're like, and you have to have it covered. So these really, really up with people kind of people, cheerleader-esque kind of women come in and like, oh, we're going to fit you for a magic shoe. And I'm like, okay, never mind. I'm not fighting this. It's like, yes, we're going to fit you with a magic shoe. And so they fit me with this shoe that basically has more heel padding in it. That's it. Just has more heel padding. And they're like, you got to wear this thing. And it's like a fucking clown shoe. I mean, the sole of it is like big and flat. And it's like, oh, fuck me. Alright, so I'm already at a disadvantage. I'm going to have to learn to walk around with that fucking thing. I legit was not looking forward to the journey home, because also with the PICC line, they have a pump with that too. The pumps together weighed about 10 pounds. And there's no way I could like set it in a room and go upon my merry way and do stuff. They had to be, close to me. So I had to figure out some type of way to carry this shit around. And I'm still so damn paranoid about this shit. That legit going, oh man, if I catch that on something and it pulls, it's gonna rip the fucking pick line out, and I'm gonna be really fucked. And so yeah, there was mounting paranoia. It's funny too because they sent me home with like a dozen oxys, and I hate to say this, but I was just kind of taking them for fun at one point. I still don't have any pain. I got fucking diabetic neuropathy. I don't have any pain. So I figured out a way to work it all out. I don't know. Well, here, I guess I can kinda do this. Bear with me for a second. Okay. I'm trying to fetch some pictures. There is one. I know I've got one. Yeah, okay, there it is. Alright, there we go. Okay, I just have to pull these pictures real quick. I guess I'll be no context tweeting a little bit more. I do actually have video of it, but I don't want to make gaming vomit again. Because I care.
Sure you do.
I do. I don't want you vomited. That's not a good thing, lad. Okay, so no context tweet. I'll also post in general. This is what the wound pump looked like when it was hooked up. Initially. There we go. So yeah, little discoloration, didn't look so great. Let's go to the other picture. Hold on, guys, gotta do a little dance, make a little love, get that night. I was gonna put, you know what? I was gonna put a dock head on this, but that would just take way too much fucking time. So I'll just do this. I shall crop my head. Okay.
Nacho wants to know if you have a new prison pocket.
A new what?
A new prison pocket.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, you could literally put a golf ball in that fucking hole. So.
I was drinking.
So here, this is what I came up with. And I'll no context tweet. Yes, that is my lovely self. And this is the rig that I came up with. So you see the pick line on my right arm running in. You see hose coming up from my foot, and then
So many hoes.
no, so many hose. It could be Christmas time. Ho ho ho. The little shoulder bag I have is the one that contains both pumps that have to go around with me. And recently, I've had an entire week of nurses stopping out every day, checking the stuff. Also, like every other day, changing out the wound vac. And I was begging them because honestly, with my age and how tired that I get, I only shower like every couple of days. I mean, I don't go out anywhere. I don't really have any type of rigorous exercise program, so it's not like I stink or anything, or have a problem with, limiting my showers as to my ability to, basically have the energy to do them. So, I hadn't had a shower until today. It's been like 8 days since I've been out of the hospital. And today was the first day that they could allocate somebody, because I wasn't allowed to take a shower by myself. I could have done it, but you know what? If I would have slipped and busted my ass, there would have been like no help. So I waited, and I got my shower and life was good, and fucking an old lady saw my junk. So.
Did she giggle?
Nope, not at all.
So she was a professional.
Fuck you.
What did I do?
You know what you just did.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I really know?
Yes.
Did I really know? Am I
did.
really mean? Am I really that mean?
Yes. I don't. Yes, I don't love you no more.
Bullshit.
So yeah, essentially, the clock's ticking. I got 1 week down. I got another 5 weeks to go. I'll be checking back and forth with the infectious diseases guy, and of course my vascular surgeon, since he was a stud and took the fucking lead on this. And we will find out in 5 weeks whether or not the foot has to go.
Hey, we got poop in the chat.
There, I gave the Pooh a wrench. Pooh the Impaler.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. The only thing I can do at this point is legitimately make sure that my IV bags don't run out. And by the way, I'm doing all my IVs now. I had one of the nurses teach me before it was time for me to know. So once I got the hang of it, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to change. And then they come out and they change the wound vac. Like, nurse will come and see me Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So they'll change it out on Monday and they'll change it out on Friday. And then it depends on the PICC line, and if I'm really sweaty and all that stuff, they'll change out the bandaging for the PICC line. Yeah, so that is the entire story. That's the biggest reason why I've been MIA, because I had a doctor that didn't give a shit. Then I found a doctor that did give a shit 2 days later, and my podiatrist and my vascular surgeon, I give them 2 thumbs up. They really stepped up. They actually gave a shit about a Medicaid patient, and I did not lose my leg. I still can lose my foot, but apparently Um, yeah, Bearman. He was talking about taking it to the knee. But it wasn't necrotic, really. I mean, the wound itself was necrotic and gangrenous, severely so. But you know, if I wouldn't have had those two guys step in and just be fucking rock stars about the whole deal, then yeah, my friend in New Hampshire probably would have been carving me a peg leg. Or Vermont. He's in Vermont now. And it's funny because he's like, dude, you're going to lose your leg? And I'm like, you know, they could save it. And he's like, oh, dude, he's like, I was going to make you the coolest peg leg ever. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not getting my goddamn leg cut off so you can make me a peg leg. Now, there's still a chance I could lose my foot. And he was like, oh, man, that's harder to work with, but I think I can come up with something. So, somewhere in the United States, somebody's drawing me a fake foot. And it's not just going to be a regular foot. No way in hell. I mean, honestly, even if they save the foot, I don't know how the hell they're going to close that fucking wound unless they do a graft on it. That's the only thing I can think of. Because I mean, we're talking about the size of a fucking golf ball. So, yeah, there it is. I've been down and out for a count, dealing with some shit, and I really, once they put me into the hospital with how bad my leg looked, I was like, I'm going to lose my leg and I better get comfortable with that fact that I'm going to lose it. So I spent a lot of time laughing and joking and making other people around me laugh. And then, I mean, they came in and they were just like, yeah, well, we still have the ability that we might have to cut the foot off. And it's like, well, fuck, I'm not changing my attitude on this. I mean, if it's fucking meant to be, it's meant to be. It's gonna, it's gonna be gone. Although I did make sure that they knew that due to my religious beliefs, that if they do cut off any actual part of my body, not, a fucking festering, dead, and rotting piece of meat, but if they actually cut off my leg or cut off my foot, that I need it returned to me. So I can basically perform the sacrament on it, sanctify it, and then be able to get rid of it. Be able to bury it somewhere. Although, I got to thinking about it. Wouldn't it be cruel if I buried it out in like a national forest where it could literally be found or dug up? And then people have to solve the mystery?
I'm pretty sure an animal would probably dig it out first.
Don't kill my boner on this.
Too bad.
God damn it. So yeah, that's the big story that took an hour and a half to tell. But that is it from beginning to end. Although it was kind of weird, I was on the 7th floor during the 4th of July, and I had a perfect view of like 5 different fireworks displays over 2 days. And over those 2 days, I invited the nursing staff, and I invited the PCTs, they're technicians basically. They're not allowed to do the nurse stuff, but just the stuff that's below. like check on you and make sure you're not dead, or make sure you have your pillow fluffed or have water. And even some of the like cleaning crew stopped in, and I had like a crowd in my room as I sat there at the picture window watching fireworks. I had like a small percentage of the staff in my room sitting there watching it with me. It felt kind of good. But I guess now's the point. If anybody is in the ward and they'd like to hop on, then feel free and do so.
We can now? Yay!
Yeah. I told you it was going to go long, didn't I?
I don't remember.
There's a lot of shit.
Where am I?
And good morning, Vlad.
Hey,
Hi, Doc.
Welcome, my son. Welcome to the machine. And a good morning to... wait a minute, let me look up that. Gaming and Yelling.
Yay!
yeah, I was listening to the actual stream, and then I heard Vlad, and was like, "Oh shit!"
But yeah, that one's quite a story. It's more boring than anything else, but this means that I never really have to tell it again. That anybody
You
who
probably
no, I won't. Anybody who wants the 411 can get it right here, right now. Matter of fact, I'll print it out on a fucking card. I'll have somebody run the Staples for me and just print the hyperlink and a QR code on it. So if they want to know what it is, I'll just hand them a card and say, here. Because I am done with it, man. I tell you what. And my blood sugar is fucking all over the goddamn place. Because I'm not eating right. What was it? Today it was like 229.
Oof.
I haven't taken it yet tonight. But I haven't even... I've really just been drinking water. My sister thought it would be funny to fill my fucking refrigerator with salads. I
I stayed up.
I don't eat salad, by the way.
Yeah, no, I stayed up all night to listen to the stream, and I'm an idiot. And when I read your tweet, I thought I for some reason didn't take consideration, the time difference.
Yeah.
So I'm like 2 hours, like behind or whatever. So I had to go back and listen to the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah,
Oh.
EST is not CST.
You are correct. Okay. I tell you what, let's go ahead. Let's talk to our friend, the One Touch Meter, and see what he has to say about my blood sugar right now. Infection is still one of the worst smells I've experienced, up there with corpses. Bearman, I'll tell you this. I have smelled dead bodies, and this smelled worse to me.
So have I, and that was a smell that traumatized me for many, many years. Not even joking, like it was disgusting. Because I did see the body, and it was rotten in the middle of the summer, and
Was that on your journey over the wall?
um,
I'm sorry, I'm just joking.
Oh, so you caught the German accent too? Yeah, Berlin Wall. But
I meant to say fence, but I just ran with it.
I was gonna say, first time I ever saw a dead body, there was this bend in the creek back behind the projects, where once summer came around, they weren't going to build any fucking swimming pools around the projects, so we would go down to this bend in the stream, and we'd all go swimming there. And one day we all showed up early morning. Hey, my blood sugar is 176.
Oh, good.
There we go. Life is better.
Yep.
And we went down to the bend, and what we found, because there was a big tree with, those big fucking Lord of the Rings root branches, root stems running around, and stuck in the roots was the bloated corpse of a dead hooker. Somebody just killed her and dumped her somewhere, and she just so happened to get caught up in the branches. And
Hey, that's free.
And she was like, it was like she was a balloon. Like she was kind of inflated. And she was all like purplish. And I mean, we could smell something walking up within like 50 feet. We could smell something. And then we just saw that. And that body just hooked up in the trees and everything bloated on it. It was really, whew.
It just sounds like 100% rebate to me.
I smelled it twice. Not because it was nice, but I could not believe the smell that I was smelling.
Yeah, I've seen dead people, but luckily enough for me, they weren't dead that long.
Well, I used to date a chick who drove the meat wagon here in the county. And one night she's like, "Oh man, we gotta go. I got like 3 bodies to drop off at the morgue. Do you want to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll go." And so I got to smell different bodies rotting. And she's like, "Well, here's the easiest way to do it." She's like, "Put on one of these paper masks," and then there was like Vicks Vapor Rub. It's kind of like Silence of the Lambs, but not stupid, where they actually put it on themselves. They just, she just had me smear it across my mask.
That'll do it.
And yeah, my sinuses cleared up immediately. But she was like, "Watch this," and she came up to a body that was, I mean, it looked like it took a while for somebody to find it. She goes, now watch this. And she takes a finger and she pushes it into, just lightly, pushes it into the corpse's forearm, and all the skin and everything just crumble away. And she pushes directly into it. And I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing? What if this was part of a murder investigation?" And she's like, No. It's just a hobo, unclaimed corpse. And that's when I knew that I wasn't real sure I wanted to have sex with this woman anymore.
You don't know where those fingers have been?
No.
Oh, he knew.
Yeah. Once again, dating redheads never turns out. At least never turns out for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, look, I make a lot of jokes that are gross, but that story was worse.
Which one?
Oh, the poking dead person.
Yeah, she shouldn't have done that.
Disturbing.
Yeah, she really shouldn't have done that. Let's see, Buzz saying, a story an old cop told me that one time in the coroner van with a corpse in it, they drove through a Burger King drive-thru, and at the window told them, "Smells like something's dead back there." Nice. Life is good. So yeah, I will. Let me check, make sure I wasn't looking at the screen. Yeah. So if there's anybody who is in the Discord right now, that would like to jump on and be part of the show, you certainly can. Although it's just the bar stool open at the bar. So, grab your drink. Enjoy yourself. And Bearman, I don't know. Bearman's probably working right now. But Bearman, if you're free up, you can come and talk about the med side.
I wish I wasn't out of booze. I drank it all today.
Oh, dude, I got a shipment of another 6 bottles of wine.
Well, I won't help your blood sugar much.
Well, there's red and white. But no, dude, I got a liquor cabinet full, and I'm not drinking. I had a buddy come over, and it's just like, well, man, if you ain't got no place to go and nothing to do, let's get drunk. And I'm like, are you fucking nuts? I'm like, I got a tube attached to my fucking foot. I've got an IV line running straight into my heart. No, I'm not drinking, you asshole. I'm like, so pack the pipe already. And it's. I hate to say this, but a friend of mine said, like, the best thing in the world are THC gummies. THC is the best for managing pain, and I'm like, I'm not really in pain. I'm in discomfort, but I'm not in pain. And she was like, fuck it, I'm still going to send you some. And so I'm like, well, how does this work? I've never done it before. And she's like, well, you want to start off with relatively small dose, like 25 milligrams. And I'm like, how do I know what's 25 milligrams? She's like, well, each bag is 500 milligrams of gummies. So you just pour them out, count them, and divide the number. You divide 500 by however many was in there. There just so happened to be 20 in there. So each gummy was 25 milligrams. And so I'm like, okay, so that's 1. Screw it, I'm taking 2 instead. She's like, okay. She's like, we don't know what your tolerance is on this, but you take it. About 45 minutes later, you're feeling pretty good. Pain's reduced. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I waited an hour, and nothing. It didn't really change. So I'm like, I'm taking another 2. So I took another 2. Waited an hour, still nothing. So I'm like, screw it, I'm taking another 2. So I took another 2. By the way, the gummies weren't bad tasting. They're actually pretty good. And nothing happened. So I'm like, all right, screw this. We're not playing this game anymore. So I just stopped doing it. And then just before we started the show, I'm like, screw it. I'll take some more. So I took like 4 more. And I hate to say it, I think I'm THC gummy proof.
You're what?
I am THC gummy proof.
Oh, yeah.
It just makes me tired.
Well, I'm okay with that because they gave me some RSO too. Do you know what RSO is?
Nope.
Okay. Anybody in the chat, if you know what RSO is, and don't go look it up, I might have something nice for you if you can actually tell me what RSO is. Without looking it up.
I just looked it up. But I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, it's completely fucked up. And you understand why they have why it's done as an acronym. As long as they weren't the sugar-free Haribo gummy bears. Buzz, The regular Haribo gummy bears also do the diarrhea. I mean, the spray and pray, so to speak, and not in the good military way. But yeah, I don't know what's that. That's why Haribo.
The acronym is such a must. I'm just saying.
Dude,
It's needed.
dude, unless you guys knew what this product is, you would never guess this. You would never guess this in your entire lifetime. So I'll tell you.
Either. I had to look it up.
So I'll tell you. RSO is short for Rick Simpson Oil.
What?
Some guy in Canada, and Turish probably knows him. Some guy up in Canada worked as a I don't believe he was a doctor. I think he was like a physician's assistant or something like that. But he invented this THC cream that he put on his. He had skin cancer, and he put it on his skin, and within a 6-month regimen of him using that CBD cream, the skin lesions went away. Done. Poof. Gone.
Wow.
Actually, he had no medical anything. He was actually just a set decorator.
Oh, then I read the wrong description then. But yeah, he cured himself of that, and then he was like, well, I want to work with this more because I think marijuana is beneficial. So he invented this type of oil that is extremely concentrated THC. I mean, they sent it to me in like a 2-ounce vial. And they're like, 1 drop. That's all you need. 1 drop. And you will be in Sleepy Town in like 30 minutes. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of hard about it. Because if I found something that can replace Ambien and it's natural, well, fuck yeah. I will go to Rick's house and clean his bathroom, even with the rig that I'm wearing right now. By the way, speaking of going to the bathroom is horrible because when you piss, all you smell is antibiotics.
Yay!
I've been on that much antibiotics.
Yeah, they got me on 3 different types of blood thinners. And I forget what the hell they actually call this. But the antibiotic IV that I'm running right now is a cocktail. It's not just one antibiotic. It's a cocktail that the infectious disease guy came up with. So, and the infectious disease guy is fucking having the time of his life.
Yeah, they have one job.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, wow, he's going to personally oversee this case, and it was just because.
He's probably want to write you in his journal.
You know what? If they want to make I already told him this in passing, and I was joking about it. I'm like, listen, if you saved my foot, you can write a paper and send it in to the Journal of American Medicine. Good on you. If you don't get the foot, you don't get my permission. And he just kind of looked at me, all serious and stuff, and goes, "We're going to do our best." Oh God, I love that kind of autism. Focused, weaponized autism. It is awesome. Now, 4chan may think they had the market cornered on it, but good God. Because you got to think, man, this dude went through at least 8 years of schooling, at least.
Yeah, I had MRSA and then doped me
Ooh.
up pretty hard with antibiotics. And
Sorry to hear that.
it was a long time ago. I was like 15 or something.
Yeah, I had a friend who had it too, and she said she went through hell.
Yeah, I mean, they actually ultimately ended up cutting my leg open and cutting some meat out of it. It was pretty fun. And then some physical rehab and shit. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. I was a little kid. Actually, it came with a perk. It was actually a pretty cool aspect. So actually, I was born with that leg was kind of pigeon-toed for that foot or whatever, right? It was weird. I was just born that way, right? And then after that all happened and I had the surgery and then I had to go through physical rehab, I didn't have that problem anymore. Yeah, which to me was a big deal.
See, be glad you are of youngness. Because when I was a kid, I was pigeon-toed. Do you know what they did to cure it?
Braces?
They put my legs in cages
Yeah.
from the hip down for 2 years.
Like they probably would have done that with me, but you see, my how do I put it? My parents are shit. So it took me getting MRSA for that to ever go anywhere. But yeah, no.
Dog, you didn't finish your story though. Like the cages were made out of dinosaur bones. You forgot that part.
No, actually, it was made of Damascus steel.
Oh,
Because I was a little older.
was it in Japan?
No,
Oh,
I've never been to Damascus, Japan before.
no, I meant the steel wasn't made in Japan.
Rick Simpson oil, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Rick Simpson oil.
Wait, on Nacho just asked 2 questions for Vlad. Was your doctor's name Tojo, and did they take your shins? No. And no.
No, at least you didn't have your taint cut open.
Twice.
Yeah, that would suck.
Wait, you only had it once, right?
Yeah, I only had my taint cut open once.
She only had a pussy once.
From my ball sack all the way to my pucker. And you know what's funny? Because guys know this. Well, women may not, but women rarely ever listen to this show, so I think we're safe. That your ball sack will shrivel up. It will it will get tough and shrivel up with severe circumstances. Like if you get kicked in the balls, man, your ball sack immediately is going to shrivel up and pucker. I swear, they left it as an open wound to heal on its own, right? And that entire time, my ball sack never relaxed. And it took a month for that thing to heal. I had that, so it shriveled up so much that it could have been bulletproof. Good God, man, that was just, I was just trying to read and catch up.
Yes, I was doing. My parents didn't love me enough. That's true. I never got hugs.
I got hugs from the men who paid $5. My dad bought me an ice cream cone afterwards.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. But the thing is man, I don't. I think that I forgot what I was gonna say, and I don't remember quite what it was.
Yay!
Oh, by the way,
I'm really tired.
Cybertest, just to let you know, one of the Master Griff Theater ones that I recorded was the taint story. So You know, I don't know. Maybe look forward to that.
Oh shit, I remember now. Okay, yeah, I was going to respond to Bearman, who actually answered or not answered, but said something to you partially as well. He said saying like that doctors can get in trouble for making jokes or laughing or whatever or being scared or some shit like that, right? Which he's 100% right. Um, because so I worked for a while in some fucking like mental home thing. And one of the first things that happened was I was told not to use the words retard or idiot or anything like that, even in a joke, which really upset me because I use the word retard all the time. It was super hard. So I ended up, you know, but I said nigger once and nobody cared.
Well, yeah.
Missouri.
Yeah.
And I said that to a black patient, and he laughed and thought it was funny. Because
Yeah.
I have balls of steel.
Yeah, Taz, that's essentially what Master Grip Theaters is for me to take some of my more popular stories or stories that I might have a tendency to have to tell more than once and collect them there and just shove them off. Just light that pyre and push that burning Viking into the ocean. Plus, I think it'd be kind of funny, like the great grandchildren of my siblings would be like, you know, what was that guy like? Oh, well, here, go on YouTube. It's still there. It's archived.
Yeah, worst case scenario, you could also put it on BitChute.
I've hidden things all around the fucking interwebs now. I got some stuff on BitChute. I got some shit on Rumble, which Rumble doesn't seem to be a bad place.
Yeah, I thought about getting into Rumble, and I'm still on the fence about it, only because I saw, oh my god, I can't remember fucking names. God damn it, the frogs are gay person.
Alex Jones.
Jones.
Yeah, his show on Rumble like barely gets any views, but fucking stupid cat videos get tons. And I'm just sitting here like, it's just the internet is the same. No matter what happens, the cat videos always fucking win.
Because cats
Have
are
you
cute.
seen cats? They're adorable.
Cats are cute.
I know, it's just,
And any cat in the world would be cuter than Alex Jones. So.
it's not about Alex Jones's looks, it's about the genius of the words that he espouses versus cats.
Yeah, I take cats over a genius conversation.
Nah, I don't know. I would love to have a
Yeah.
joint with Alex Jones. It would be amazing.
And by the way, good evening, Nostradamus. He's heading on.
Good night, Nacho.
Yeah, he thought my doctor's name was Tojo.
Yeah, I think. By the way, have you guys followed up any amount on this or heard about it? About Tim Pool's going to sue somebody?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I know all about it. Why?
I don't know anything about it.
It's basically a former partner of his who had a very few shares. The bitch actually tried to overturn his company and steal it underneath him.
Oh,
Which
yeah?
he only has like a few shares versus he has like 80% of the shares. So she and another dude, they try to, supposedly overthrow Tim Pool on his own company. But of course they failed and now he's suing them because of different
kind of
bullshit.
wish they had succeeded, honestly.
You're not wrong, but
Like the one thing I hate about Tim Pool is he whines about
One thing?
sensationalist media while being sensationalist media.
That's like Drew. That's like Drew Hernandez, but he really doesn't give a fuck. That's he yells and rails.
Well, I mean,
more.
well, yeah, and I guess Tim Pool, or not, I know Tim Pool basically could make a 2-minute video, but he makes a 10-minute one repeating the same 2 minutes of
Yep.
dialogue.
He is very repetitious. Always has been. I mean, in his at one time he had 3 different channels running on YouTube, and it would be like, okay, do you want the small, medium, or large? Because you go to one channel and it'd be a 2-minute explanation. You go to the next channel, it'd be a 7-minute explanation. Then you go to the other channel and it would be the whole dialogue. You know,
It's podcast.
yeah. And I'm just like, oh man, you are really wanting to keep your partnerships.
If only he wanted to keep his hair that much.
Mm. No, but I did see the video where he really wanted to keep that beanie when somebody pulled it off his head. Good God, that was in Boston a couple of years ago.
Man, look, if you're bald, just fucking own it. I mean, seriously.
Well, no, the funnier part of it was he proceeded for the next 10 or 15 minutes to dress down the guy who pulled his cap off. Because he's like, you don't understand, man. I'm a journalist. I'm wanted. People will come at me. People send me death threats. This helps to hide who I am. And I'm just busting a fucking gut at this point because it's like, no, it doesn't, because you wear it all the time. Therefore, it's part of your fucking silhouette, dude.
Yeah, like, if you take it off, there's going to be like, oh, look, some bald guy.
Mm-hmm. People will go, is that Tim Pool? I can't tell, man. That fucking gleam coming off the top of his motherfucking head.
It's
But-
blinding.
But, you know, yeah, it's like, wait a minute. I'll recognize that beanie anywhere. That's Tim motherfucking Pool. Time to Andy know his ass.
And the only way I would sleep with him is he has to keep the beanie on.
Like pulled all the way down.
Yes, sir. Exactly. All the way down.
Want to be partially Asian.
Yeah, cut some eye
Oh,
holes.
he is. He's
Cut-
that Asian.
Cut some eye holes in it, make him look like Mushmouth from the Fat Albert kids.
Hey, that's gross.
He just looks so white for an Asian. It's fucking weird.
Well, he's mixed. He's not full Asian.
I get it. He's a mistake, but I'm just saying.
We all know that. Huh.
Who, Tim Pool?
Yes.
Is he Asian?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it's hard to tell. Like, it really is.
See, I thought he was Puerto Rican.
No.
I did. Oh no, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Mushmouth. That's the wrong one I'm thinking of. It was Dumb Donald. And just for my forgiveness, I'll put up a...
And Evil Dead Ed comes in for the defense. Tim Pool is a fucking millionaire.
Yeah.
Fuck his dick, why don't you?
Right?
So,
I mean,
yeah.
I know I would for someone who's a man.
Oh, and he knows what half of Asian he is. Apparently half Korean. But, like, that matters, really.
I was just looking for that.
Oh, man, you suck Tim Pool's dick, too? Stop, Ed. Stop making bad choices in your life. Good
See,
God.
it's
No,
it's
he-
most likely a very little dick, so why does it matter?
No, see, the thing is, Ed loves Tim Pool simply because he forgets everything Tim Pool says 2 minutes later, and it's okay because Tim Pool repeats it again.
By the way, that's the worst picture of Shoe on Head I've seen.
Right? I mean, I dig her. She looks a little prettier.
Hmm. That's what happens when you eat all of your hair.
No, he doesn't even look Asian. He just looks white.
So should we get into some more controversy? I think so. What the fuck is up with Kevin Smith?
He's a
What?
piece of shit.
Is he a fucking cuck or what? Because he is the showrunner for the new He-Man cartoon.
Ugh.
And apparently,
No, they did a new He-Man cartoon?
yeah, apparently, well, it's not out yet.
Don't ruin my childhood.
They're gonna, because He-Man gets mortally injured and loses the Sword of Power about halfway through the show, I think. And then Teela steps in and saves the day.
Who
Teela,
the fuck is Tila?
Man-at-Arms' daughter. And for the Filmation cartoon, I was sure that He-Man was getting him some of that Teela. But not in this version. Teela's a lesbian. And she's the one who fights Skeletor and recovers the Sword of Power. And Kevin Smith tried to lie about it. And just got fucking busted like a son of a bitch on his tweets. Because you tweet it, it's there forever. I forget. It was one of those... Damn it! I forget which one it is. It's a man and a woman that do a very comic geek eccentric show.
What is it?
I can't tell you the name because I don't remember it.
Like, how are you describing it? I didn't hear the description.
It's a male and a female, probably in their 30s, from either late 20s, early 30s, and they talk about all types of comic related stuff. Sometimes they get into some gaming related stuff. Oh, thank you, Taz. Clownfish TV. Yeah. They're actually kind of a fun listen to if you want to listen to the subject matter that they're talking about. But they were the ones that first came out about it. And at the time, they were like, 20,000 subs. Nothing, no big fish in the pond, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Smith was dumb enough to tweet back to them, defending, oh, no, we're not changing this, we're not changing that, blah, blah, blah. And that's when they started to take off. But they saved the tweet, and he lied. He flat out lied.
He lied in the tweet, or the did he say a different tweet before, or what?
No, his very first tweet, he lied out of the gate. And then he tried to do damage control. And started just going even deeper. So, yeah, good job there. Honestly, I can't really watch any of his shit anymore. It's just
so repetitive and boring.
Well, it's blatantly bad. I mean, blatantly bad.
I don't know. Like, I thought that one movie he did that was like a horror movie where they turned some dude into like a weird dolphin thing was pretty awesome.
That movie made me come up with a new word. Are you ready for it? Horror-boring.
I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
It wasn't funny. It wasn't well-paced. I mean, I knew things were slipping when he did Red State.
I'm going to assume you also probably don't like Freddy Got Fingered.
I don't fucking know.
I fucking love that masterpiece of a film.
What a piece of shit.
Well, once I understood what he was doing, I admired what he was doing, but it's still a bad movie.
No, I think it's hilarious, and the whole thing is just a giant, like, troll. Like, it was kind of, like, obvious to me, but I absolutely fucking loved it. I remember watching it and just laughing my ass off the first time and the second time. Like, I don't know.
Well, it was a $10 million troll.
Actually, more than that. They spent $24 million on the movie.
Jesus Christ.
And it ended up making, get this, $24 million. So yeah, no, it flopped. It did become a cult classic later, and then a lot of people bought the DVD. So it started regaining some amount of popularity. But yeah,
There's still a heavy amount of suck to that film.
I loved it. I thought people like went into that movie expecting way too much. I grew up watching his show, so I didn't really like understand why people were shocked by the movie.
Dude, I didn't bother picking up that movie until it ended up in the secondhand shop.
Yeah, I was like, I think 14 or 15 when I watched it the first time, something like that. And I just remember him like grabbing the horse's dick and saying, "Look, Daddy, I'm a farmer," and then me like crying and gasping for air because I just laughed my ass off over it.
Okay.
It's hilarious. And Taz, you're right. It's the movie Tusk. Yeah. That I was talking about. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think that the movie is just like, I don't know. I think people took it like way too seriously, and expecting it to be something that it wasn't. If you watched his show, whenever like before that, like it was the same kind of shit. Like he'd pay people to go like eat out dead animals and shit. It was pretty fucking hilarious.
No, I didn't like his show either.
Oh, well, okay. Well, maybe it was just me.
He was a Canadian. There's only a handful of Canadians that are actually funny.
It wasn't even really that he was funny. It was more of what he did. Like, I did find him pestering people on the street to be absolutely hilarious, though, because there were people that just tried to beat the shit out of him. Which was funny.
See, I don't find anything funny about that. But then again, if I've got my choice between the Three Stooges and the Marx Brothers, I'm taking the Marx Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I
thought the Three Stooges was funny too.
I didn't. I mean, slapstick comedy has just never appealed to me.
Now, to be fair, I will say though that Abbott and Costello is much funnier than the Three Stooges. So there's a hot take.
Only when they met the Universal Monsters.
No, I grew up on that shit too. Actually, I just realized that I literally grew up on two entirely different extremes of comedy.
Well, dude, I mean, fucking Three Stooges were old when I was a kid.
Yeah. They were dead when I was a kid.
God, I gotta get a new wrap for my fucking pick line. It's starting to get me paranoid. Because it's kind of like getting a little itchy, and it was changed like 2 days ago. I don't like that feeling, not at all. Okay, I've got another one for you guys. I'm gonna do the no context tweet for it. More controversy.
Uh-oh.
Coming out the second week of August. You can look forward. I don't think it's gonna. I think the file's too big. Let me see.
God damn it, Doc!
What?
I hate you. I fucking hate you.
What the fuck is this?
This is a new take on what if Starfire from the Teen Titans had a daughter. And the
sorry.
And the daughter has powers. We don't know who the father is. But her hair isn't naturally black. She dyes it black and decides to go goth.
Is her magic powers
Pretty sure.
mosquitoes?
I'm pretty sure the father is Nightwing.
No, it's not Dick Grayson.
I'm pretty sure it was.
No, you're talking about the other daughter from the other universe, Nightstar.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what Samaj told me. So
Well,
Samaj was wrong.
dude, in a futuristic setting, because there's so many different types of Earths and alternate realities. Let me see if I can remember her fucking name. Damn it. I'm trying to remember. was it like Nightfire or Night Star? Yeah, Night Star. There it is. Yeah, Marie Grayson is known as Night Star, but she was on another Earth, and she was thin.
Hot take: Teen Titans sucked anyway.
Not the original.
The comic
The
book,
original.
the-
I never liked.
the comic book. No way in hell. That book.
I don't like comic books.
Well, then you're a dumbass.
You don't like fucking nothing.
I like. Okay, first off, that's a double negative, and you just said I like everything, which isn't true.
I didn't say you
Secondly-
like everything.
No, you said I like nothing, or
Yeah.
you said actually what you said is I don't like nothing, which is a double negative.
There.
But
That's a.
second,
Wait a minute. I also just put up a picture of Night Star.
yeah, she's a hoe.
Don't hoe shame.
That's my thing. But no, I just don't look. First off, I consider comic books simply just novels for autistic kids. Like, it's like when like the whole time you're like made fun of because like, you can't read books without pictures in them, and then like all of a sudden like it's all hip to read comic books with pictures in them. It's just dumb. But also I just never liked comic books to begin with. I don't like the drawings. I don't.
Dude, you
art
really,
style,
you
any of that.
really cannot say that. I know for certain that you've never read a single Teen Titans because it was drawn by a guy by the name of George Perez, and he is one of the baddest artists that's ever lived.
Okay, but I've never read their comic books. No.
No, like I'm saying, if you want to take a look, fuck it, I'll find some artwork.
But it's just that I don't like the art style of comic book doodles.
Well, they say that comic books, well, at least for my generation, were our version of the hero's tale of Aesop's fables.
Mm-hmm.
Because back then it was, there is good, there is bad, and good will eventually triumph.
Yeah.
I mean, we learn that's not true in adult life, but that's the thing. We were learning these object lessons because most of the time we don't want to listen to our parents.
Look, while everybody was reading comic books, I was reading Lord of the Rings. So that's the whole point I'm making here.
I read them equally. I read Lord of the Rings when I was like 13 or something.
Although I'm gonna say right now, Lord of the Rings was fucking boring. Like holy shit. Okay, now I got that out of my system.
Oh yeah, I've mentioned more than once that I don't think he's a hack because he created his own world, but I don't think he's a good writer.
He's fucking autistic. Basically, his whole thing was, okay, here's my vision, and you don't get another alternative. This is it. Fucking, this is my grass, bitch. Like that was like his, like it was just he left nothing for imagination whatsoever, and that was like my major issue with those books. It was all very forced, like you're trying to read what he's imagining and nothing else. It's like, for example, if I've been reading slowly Fahrenheit 451, and what's cool is the massive difference in style. In other words, put it another way, is he doesn't spend 5 pages explaining what a bridge looks like or a sidewalk.
No.
It pretty much assumes you know what that is. Whereas in Lord of the Rings, this fucker is explaining what blades of grass looks like.
Well,
What did it look like? Can you read that for me?
Well, it's also kind of like how what's the bitch who wrote the Vampire Lestat, an interview with a vampire.
Oh, that. Okay.
By the way, Doc, I just read up the whole Mandy, who's the father.
Yeah.
And it's like South Park. Who is Cartman's father? Nobody knows.
Nobody cares. Nobody's gonna
You
fucking
guys-
care.
That's true.
By the way, I put up some George Perez art. He is fucking amazing.
Okay.
That looks ugly to me.
Why?
It just looks like a chaotic mess.
I don't. Yeah, exactly.
It's not.
I don't know. Looks. I don't see nothing cool about it.
Yeah, people stand in line to do fights. This is not a Jackie Chan movie.
I like Jackie Chan movies more.
No. The chaos is awesome.
Look, the thing is, I just really don't like comic books at all. Like, I look at these pictures and I'm like, okay, cool, next. But to be fair, when I was a kid, I didn't like children's books. When I was growing up, I hated cartoons for the most part, with the exceptions of a few. Like He-Man was one of probably the earliest cartoons that I ever really liked. But then like that was pretty much it, and then skip forward several years, and then you got South Park, right? So like I never was like that into that shit. Like really, I was more interested in my own imagination.
Yeah, Taz. I wonder who the artist drew inspiration to draw the overweight goth Mandy. Huh. That's going to be tough to figure out.
Fucking ugly bitch.
No, man. Comics were definitely my saving grace. I learned how to read, and when I've mentioned this before, I was a chronic stutterer as a child. I was all kinds of messed up. One of my safe havens was reading, and comic books primed me to the point where I'm like, yeah, I want to read like Encyclopedia Brown, or I want to read Hardy Boys Mysteries. And then
By the way, sorry to interrupt, Doc. How do you pronounce George's last name?
Perez.
Not even close.
Fuck you. You know why? You know why I say that? That's the way he says it.
Well, he's fucking wrong too.
It's
by
his
the way-
name.
Yeah, and just because your name would be George and you call it George, it's still fucking wrong. It's Perez.
Oh my god.
Shut up.
It sounds like you're saying.
pedantic every so often.
It sounds like you're drunk and saying penis.
Hey, better than Perez or Periri or whatever the fuck you're calling it. It's
Well,
Perez.
Perez.
Well, what I was
It's an
gonna say-
accent, which the E sounds louder. Perez.
Well, what I want to say though, real quick, is I will say that the second drawing comic thing you posted, I will say I like more than the one above it for one reason. The one above it looks fucking digital as fuck, and I hate that look in general. And I can at least give the bottom one credit, the chaotic one credit, because it looks like it's actually hand drawn comparatively.
Yeah, you
Wait,
know
Doc,
what?
who the fuck is that chicken red? I don't know who the fuck that character is.
This the lady in red.
That's Diana Troy. They call her Wonder Girl. She was like Wonder Woman's cousin.
Okay. I mean, I can see the Wonder Woman outfit in there, but I wouldn't think it was Wonder Woman.
I would think the one in the back you wouldn't know. The one in the horrible brown and orangish costume.
I mean, I was thinking Terra.
It is. Mm-hmm.
See, I know
But-
my stuff. Not that
but-
much, but I know some of it.
But
So,
I'm
yes.
not necessarily against the existence of comic books. I'm against the existence of one thing, and that is manga, or however the fuck that gay ass shit is pronounced.
Dare you
Why?
talk about manga?
I fucking hate it.
Why?
So like, I remember when I was a kid, whenever the weeb thing fucking started, really hitting the fan, at least in my town, and on the bus, and all the little hip kids brought their little manga books to school, right? And they were like, hey, look at this, and I opened it the way you're supposed to open a book, you know, And they're like, no, you're supposed to read it from the other way around. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is automatically shit, and handed the book back. Yeah, the moment you have to read from right to left instead of left to right, I'm out. That was enough for me. Like, I'm done. And also on top of that, I hated the drawings. I hate anime. Like that whole art style like makes me very angry. Everything looks like a fucking flower.
I'm not a fan of speed lines, to be honest with you. I don't think I ever have been.
Speed lines?
Yeah, instead of like actually having a background when a character is moving, they'll have lines as the background itself.
Oh, okay.
To show movement, speed lines.
Yeah,
That's what they're called.
Like tracer rounds.
No.
Yeah, okay. I was applying it to guns, but whatever. But yeah, like no, I don't know. Like I didn't even take too long to even look at the art. I just kind of, looked at it for like 2 seconds, was told I was looking at it wrong, and then gave up. Because like this is the issue that I have with all of weeb culture at its root core, is that it's usually just a bunch of pretentious hipsters.
Yeah,
isn't that what you are though? I mean, aren't you one of them?
No, I don't like anime.
You've been
no.
accused of being a hipster for the longest time.
Yeah, by people primarily.
Well, that's a reputable source.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I see exactly what you're talking about now, and yes, that is very obnoxious. Yeah,
That's irritating and lazy.
yes.
Yeah, I was always like, okay, so these guys are too lazy to draw backgrounds. That's what it. No, it's a style. I'm like, I don't like the style when basically you tear away all the context for it. Now I know they still kind of do that with their artistic flair now, especially with some of the art studios that are here that are aping the manga style, but still, it goes on. It's popular.
But no, gaming. To answer your question, no, most of the time, the only person that calls me a hipster is Pinoid. It's actually the only other person I know that actually uses the phrase. Most of the time, however, the rest of people call me a contrarian, which is the more common thing, and usually they call me that just simply because I disagree with them.
That's good. I have bison jerky.
Gross.
But it's made like soft, so I don't have to like put my teeth in, which is nice. And it's made with uncured bacon and cranberries.
It sounds disgusting.
Actually, it is not bad at all, and it's got shit tons of protein and stuff in it. So,
You know what? I tried it. It almost made me actually seriously vomit.
what?
Jerky salmon.
I've had smoked salmon jerky before. It wasn't bad.
I threw up. It was fucking disgusting. It was the most disgusting thing I ever put in my mouth.
See, I'm not taking it. No, I'm not taking the easy way on this.
Come on!
No.
I left it open for you.
No, you can't make me. Nope, not gonna do it. By the way, why did you post our girl Mandy again?
So people can see the picture between the fat bitch and herself as a fat bitch.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I'm excited for the new Iron Maiden album coming out in a couple months.
I just wonder if you're gonna be able to hear their wheelchairs and gas tanks while they're
I'm
playing
waiting
their
for
album.
that day. Yes.
Right.
I'm gonna have to
Clink,
say
clink.
I'm really gonna have to say not really, because they honestly they haven't made a good album since the fucking 90s.
I will fight you over that.
Which one? Which one?
Okay, so first off, since the '90s would be, I think would be Fear of the Dark. I'm hoping is what you mean, and that sucked. If you mean anything
No.
with Blaze Bailey, no, you.
No, Fear of the Dark was not good.
Fear of the Dark was absolute garbage. I actually hate most of their '80s albums, to be honest. The only ones I liked out of the '80s was Seventh Son, Peace of Mind, and Somewhere in Time, and all the rest of the '80s can go away for their '80s music, like including Number of the Beast. I despise it. I prefer Killers over Number of the Beast. Point of fact, I just didn't like that album at all. But me personally, anything after Brave New World, I love.
Because you're retarded.
No, I love that. I like that prog rock or prog metal they've went for. I like that sound.
You
Like, a lot
could have
more.
gone with hipster, but you ruined it.
No. If I were a hipster, okay, I would say all of their '80s is shit, and and Blaze Bailey was the best fucking vocalist for Iron Maiden. That would be a hipster take.
Yeah, but you try not to contradict yourself and be contrarian to yourself, because that's what you
That-
say.
Doesn't make any sense.
I saw.
Maybe to you. Maybe to you.
I saw Iron Maiden 4 times. I saw them with the Number of the Beast tour,
Ugh.
the Peace of Mind tour, which Peace of Mind is still my most favorite album.
Yeah, it's a really good album. Yeah.
Told you.
Somewhere in Time, and then the Edward the Great tour, which was what, 2000 or something like that.
Yeah.
And all I can say is, always had a great and entertaining stage show. Yeah, because you can't go wrong with an 8 to 12 foot tall Eddie.
Right. Well, for me, like the reason I like their newer stuff more is actually like some technical shit, but like part of it is that Bruce's voice is much more controlled now instead of some wild all over the place voice that he used to have, which was like my main criticism of a lot of his early work. But the other thing that I like about him is they got more of that, progressive metal, theatrical, artistic shit that they're doing.
Okay, well, let me ask you this: if you really do like Iron Maiden, which one was the better singer, Dickinson or Di'Anno?
Dickinson, but I do like Di'Anno too.
And good morning, Full Metal Joker.
Yo.
For me, it's Dickinson, Di'Anno, then Blaze.
Dude, I have heard Di'Anno do some of the Dickinson stuff, and whereas you are right, Bruce Dickinson's voice is getting weaker. I swear to God, Paul Di'Anno's voice is getting stronger.
Okay, so I didn't mean that his voice is getting weaker. What I meant is it's more controlled.
No, it's getting weaker. The reason why he doesn't do scales anymore is because of the fact that he can't.
I mean, he still does. I don't know what you mean.
If you go to
he's not hitting aces high, if that's what you're saying. Like, he's not going to hit the aces high notes. No.
Dude, he wasn't hitting the trooper notes.
Yeah, like, but again, like, I think I just prefer the lower register than the extreme high register from back then.
No, I heard, and I think it's somewhere on YouTube. Paul Di'Anno doing a brief version of Run to the Hills,
Yes.
and he sounded great.
Well, Paul Di'Anno also just has a completely different style, so like he has less range. But the cool thing that I do like about him is the one range that he does have. I will say, like, he was better than Bruce Dickinson at that one range, whereas Dickinson is good at being like the jack of all trades, kind of, in the multiple different octaves he was doing. Paul Di'Anno just did one and was really good at that one, which is not a bad thing at all. So, and yeah, he still is pretty good. And it's a shame in my personal opinion, it is an absolute shame that Paul Di'Anno's career died after Iron Maiden.
He's still in the band. They're still
He
rocking
is.
away.
I know, but I wish he would have actually still been. I wish he would have been able to be a competitor. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, it would have been interesting because, like, again, like, I don't think Paul Di'Anno is a bad singer. I think he gets a lot of hate for no reason. Blaze Bayley deserves all the hate he gets. He just sucks.
Well, yeah. That was without a doubt. But wasn't that the time when Bruce was like, I have to go fencing?
No. I mean, he did go fencing. It was actually a funny story. So what happened was, which I kind of understand. So he was reading the autobiography from, what's that guy's name? Nyx or whatever, from that other band in the 80s that was really popular. I can't remember the name of them. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Do you remember a song that they did?
He was a bassist, and I can't remember the name of him. Alice in Chains. It wasn't Alice in Chains. It was I don't remember. I'll have to look it up in a second. But it doesn't matter. It's a bassist from one of these bands. He was pretty famous, and he wrote an autobiography, right? And so in the autobiography, it came out that essentially he fucked Bruce Dickinson's wife. And it wasn't just that he fucked Bruce Dickinson's wife. Bruce Dickinson's wife at the time was a groupie and was like fucked the whole band. And Bruce Dickinson found this out while reading the guy's autobiography, and this is right before Fear of the Dark was released.
Wait, and was she Mrs. Dickinson at the time?
Yes.
Oh my.
Yeah. And the song "Wasting Love" from Fear of the Dark, arguably probably the only good song on the whole album, was actually specifically about him finding out that his wife cheated on him. And after that, he left the band because the bassist, what's his name? I can't remember. Harris.
Steve Harris.
Yes, Harris is being a dick about it. And was just like, dude, get over it, move on, let's go tour. Like, who cares? And Dickinson couldn't handle it and was like, fuck you, and left and did a solo thing, did some fencing and stuff, and
wrote a couple children's books.
Yeah. And then what happened is Harris tried to get a new singer because they realized Blaze was a mistake. Yeah, Motley Crue, Nikki Sixx, Taz is on the ball here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And anyway, so what happened is Steve Harris was like, well, I want them to sound more like Bruce Dickinson. And ultimately what happened is they were just like, why don't you just go ask Bruce Dickinson? And that's how Brave New World happened.
By the way, JJ, get your ass in here. Don't just hang out in the chat. What the hell's wrong with you?
Hey, Doc, what happened to you, man?
Fuck you. Go listen to the beginning of this. I'm not telling that hour and a half long story again.
Well, just summarize it, then. Shit.
That's end of story.
If the antibiotics don't work in 5 weeks, I lose my foot.
Oh shit.
By the way, maple glazed and smoked salmon bites? No. What is this fucking obsession with maple? I don't even like maple syrup on my fucking pancakes.
Oh, let's talk about pumpkin spice.
Hey, pumpkin spice is pretty good.
Oh my god, you're such a fucking white girl. Shut up.
Thank you.
Dude, everything at Bath and Body Works, all their fall candles, like 75% of their fall candles are pumpkin this and pumpkin that, and I'm like, fuck you. They lost my order. I ordered from the clearance, and it was all like summer fragrances, and that package got lost, and I'm like, oh shit, this was all clearance. And the person's like, no, I'll look it up for you. Whatever we have, we can get replaced. They had, out of the 18 that I ordered, they had 2.
Shit.
I'm like, fuck me. And they're like, well, but we still have these wallflowers. And I'm like, the wallflowers were the freebies I got for buying the other stuff. I'm like,
The
thanks,
best-
thanks for replacing the free things. Good morning, JJ. JJ. Hello. If you're talking, Joshua, your mic's not working.
The best part of the pumpkin is the seeds.
Yeah. As you know, a kid growing up when I did, that was part of the ritual. You know, you carve the jack-o'-lantern, and then you take the seeds, spread them out, and bake them for a little bit. My mom always threw some. I think she always threw Mrs. Dash on them. I don't know why. I guess it's just some shit that she had. JJ, can you hear me now?
Please leave a message after the beep.
I don't have him on server mute. But then again, I wasn't the one who did that shit.
Who did that shit?
Yeah, who would you guess?
Never mind.
Mm-hmm. And it's not, ladies and gentlemen, let's just say it is not a cave of she who will not be named. It's not that at all. It's just expounding. Yeah. I'm just covering my bases because I never did. And it's funny too because Bearman, I got a shit ton of Mrs. Dash for the amount of time that I was in the hospital. They just kept giving me packet after packet. And I know that if you guys don't know the golden rule of hospital, whatever comes into your room, if you're not able to eat it or use it, and it's not a permanent fixture, then it gets thrown away.
You take it with you. Yeah, duh.
So yeah, I mean, I have. I even took some of the small dessert dishes with me because I like those instead of the ramekins that I've got. Those things suck.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you go to a hotel. You know, you take the mattress and pillows. Obviously. Come on.
I don't know. I did take a comforter once.
Yeah, what Bearman said is 100% correct. You paid for it. Actually, one time they let me keep the scissors.
I mean, that's like $1,000 scissors right there.
Yeah.
Oh.
They gave me stitches and let me keep the scissors.
When I had the tank thing done, I came home with a couple of what they call nurse's scissors, because one end comes to a point and the other one's rounded. That's so you can take the round one and slip it up under bandages and stuff and cut. But I ended up with a couple pair of those. I ended up with a bunch of hemostats, and I even got a scalpel out of the deal.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and I forgot to mention this earlier, by the way. Yes, Blaze Bailey fans actually exist. I've seen them.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. It is weird. Either that or they're just trolls. I'm not 100% sure, but they're like dead serious. Like Blaze Bailey was the best thing to happen to Maiden. Those are actually people.
That's where he's wrong, and perhaps some medication might fix that.
Yeah, like I've used to be on forums, and as you can imagine, I've been kicked off of every group and every forum I've ever been in except 4chan.
Oh, by the way, I still play the Legacy of Iron Maiden game. That's one of the few, that's one of the few apps that I actually have.
Yeah, it was fun. I quit playing it because I got bored. But
I like because they had so many Eddies.
yeah, no, like Eddie, like so, like that's the thing for me. Like I like one of my favorite. Actually, by the way, I'm a bit annoyed, and gaming is gonna laugh his ass off for what I'm about to say. By the way,
Okay.
you know what? I'm not even gonna actually say it. I'm just gonna post a picture in general, and you can see it for yourself.
No. Okay. Like sometime this evening, or
Right in a second, as soon as I find the damn thing.
Damn it. I shot past my mark, gaming. I was thinking about 4, but I had to tell this boring hour-and-a-half long fucking story. By the way, thanks for the people who were there from Jump Street and listened all the way through it. Good God, you got some balls. If you never find the IRS bar, then drinks are on me.
Dude, what happened? Well, what happened to you? Kind of what happened to me.
Uploading
Well,
now.
Okay.
Well, with my case, it was more like COVID plus double pneumonia.
Oh no, I got a severe necrotic gangrenous infection, and it's in the bone of my foot.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So even this 6 weeks
And
of
and by the way,
antibiotics-
you'll also see my reaction in the same photograph.
what? Okay.
All
what-
all the arrows and the circles are me being autistic.
Okay, but yeah, what is it?
Eddie is a fucking samurai now.
Oh, I thought with the arrows it actually meant something else.
No,
Like
the
some type of
arrows
hidden
were
meaning.
me bitching. No, me adding the arrows because somebody was like, "What's wrong with it?" And I was just like, "I don't know, samurai sword, the fucking samurai helmet, the samurai armor. He's a fucking samurai." And then the Japanese fucking symbols and shit. Like I was just basically like throwing a fit over it. And then my sister actually wrote me and said, "Ha, they betrayed you."
I mean, the sword is backwards.
No, it's not. Oh wait,
The
is it?
blade. Yeah, dumbass.
Oh
the
yeah,
blade-
they're going with the stupid autistic bullshit that people say on the internet, which is annoying. They fought with the blades, the inward. No, they didn't.
Oh, Lord,
Yeah,
have mercy.
Yeah, it's even actually shaped backwards too.
Uh-huh.
Like it's not just the blade is on the wrong or the yeah, it's not just on the wrong side. The
It's
edge.
been wrong too. Yep.
Yeah, so that I don't know if that has some sort of dumbass hidden meaning or something. I doubt it. I think somebody fucked up when they made the artwork, but whatever. But no, like I'm not like the moment I saw that, like, and the album's, as you can see, called Shih Tzu or whatever the fuck it's pronounced. It's supposed to mean tactics and strategy. But yeah, like I don't know. I was a bit annoyed by it, but I don't care. I'm gonna pre-order it anyway.
No. I'll
Their
listen
last-
to it, but
Their last album to me was an absolute masterpiece. 90 minutes worth. It's amazing.
I don't.
Their last
I don't
song was
remember.
18 minutes long, and I nearly came myself. But yeah, like no, their last album was in 2015. And it
I legitimately stopped buying Iron Maiden albums with Matter of Life and Death.
I loved that album. That was
Weak.
like, dude, what? That was like my second favorite, or that was my first favorite album for a long time. I love that fucking album.
Weak.
And yeah, and it's funny, like Evil Dead Ed's over here, like, does Vlad just hate everything? And here I am sitting here, like, you know, oh yeah, I liked Speed of Light. There was a whole rest of the album other than that song. But it's like people that like, oh, I like the song Run to the Hills, and then I like fucking yell at them. But yeah, like no, I like I loved Matter of Life and Death, and the main reason why it was like the personification of progressive metal.
Did you get a
like,
free
just-
patch with it?
No.
The CD that I bought actually had a patch.
Yes, Bearman, I said love. No,
It actually did have a cheap ass sew on patch.
yeah, so I didn't get the album that way. Actually, so Matter of Life and Death I actually got through the what is that, the stupid subscription club bullshit
Columbia
that you
House?
did. Yeah, Columbia House, yeah. That's how I got it. like way later. Like it was like I want to say like 3 or 4 years after the album was already released.
Can't tell you. Don't know.
But yeah, I can't remember. Like, so my first memories of like actually, I at first hated Iron Maiden because the very first song I ever heard from them ever was fucking Lord of the Flies.
Oh, by the way, here I'll put it in general, and I'll put it in that was
Blaze
the
Bailey.
that was the patch.
Yeah, no, I never got the patch. No. But I love that album. It's just no, it's not still a thing. This is like way back in like 2000, like before 2010. You know, like way before that. Like the album came out in 2005, I think, right? 2004, something like that.
No, Matter of Life and Death was 2011.
No, I know
that's what
it
they're
wasn't
saying.
2011.
That's what it said on the copyright. All right, let's see here.
Oh, it came out in 2006, is what it says here. It was when it was released on August 25th.
Okay.
Because I know that the album after that came out in 2010, and it was The Final Frontier, which I had also bought, and I bought it at the mall.
Okay, what's their best song? Period.
Okay. Empire of the Clouds.
You're not gonna like my choice.
I swear to God, if you say Number of the Beast.
Oh, good God, no. No. Revelations.
Actually, no. It's a really good song. I like that song. Yeah.
Peace cells.
No, that's Megadeth.
Wasn't that off Peace of Mind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Peace of Mind's a great album. I love that album.
Wall to Wall, there really is not a bad song on that album, and it's really hard, especially at the time when that came out, for somebody to have a solid album from 1 to, well, usually like 8 or 9 because they were vinyl.
Vlad, I know. I got the Iron Maiden's best song. It's Chop Suey.
Yeah.
You know, I still want to see System in concert.
I don't. Serge is a dick.
No, not in concert.
Whatever. But actually, no. I watched the whole concert on YouTube, and he went on this fucking rant about nature and how like fucking we should get rid of borders and insert fucking John Lennon line here. And I just don't like it. Just gets annoying, heavy-handed, and whatever. I mean, he doesn't do that in every concert, so that's fair. But like, it was just one.
When I saw them, he was in the middle of a song and he stopped the fucking song, and he started yelling at someone like, "Stop! Stop! Stop!" And then they're like, "You two, stop fucking fighting!" And then he went on a rant that we're here to listen to music and good vibes and be cool and this and that.
I actually hate it when bands do that.
Well, I mean, he stopped a fight, so fuck
yeah,
it.
that no, like I'm in the opinion that if I'm on stage, hypothetically, and somebody just like stabs somebody to death, I'm not going to stop the show. I don't care.
Well, I went to a Disturbed concert,
Ooh.
Oh, now that's a piece of shit right there.
and there was a girl who was crowd surfing, and they were groping the fuck out of her. And what's his name? Draymond?
Yeah.
Draymond stopped the band and stopped everything. And he's like, "Listen, you motherfuckers, put her down. If I ever see any bullshit like that again, we're walking off the stage."
I know Stain did something like that too, but I don't know.
Look,
but not Limp Bizkit.
but yeah, no, Limp Bizkit, like I love their stage shit. It's funny. I don't know why, but no, like David Draymond is like fucking virtue signal 101.
Yeah,
Like,
but
he's
god
just an
damn that.
absolute moral fag.
But that fucking voice, though.
Oh, the former voice. Yeah.
That's still good. He still he still does power tricks, and you know, when I had full range and could do the shit that I used to do, I had power tricks like that too. And goddamn, you know, I respect anybody who can pull them off.
Okay, so I'm gonna give him some credit and then some not credit. So his screaming, for example, his voice got fucked up actually after the Believe album, which I consider like a masterpiece. By the way, I actually did like that album.
I do love that album.
And so essentially, but after that, he had surgery on his throat. Since fucked that up.
What
But
the
anyway,
fuck?
aside from
Fuck.
what?
You okay?
Keep going, guys. Just keep going.
Well, I was gonna say the Evolve album was pretty good, which he was singing like actually instead of screaming. I think his singing voice is good. His screaming is lacking nowadays.
You guys keep going. Fuck! God damn it. Just keep going.
Well,
but anyway.
the fucking lead singer of Disturbed, the one of the time, because I've seen him three or four fucking times. They had beach balls and they were throwing them, and you know they were just the people were just playing with beach balls. He got all fucking bitchy and pissy. He's like, "Hey, get those stupid balls off the fucking area. This is not a Beach Boys concert. Fuck out of here. This is that." And he's like, "I'm not gonna play music if you keep playing with the stupid balls." I'm like, "What a stupid faggot." They didn't even throw the fucking balls to the stage, or they were nowhere near him. What a fucking fag. Fuck him.
Wait, really?
Yes! He was a fucking asshole.
That's wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. He's a fucking piece of shit. I don't fucking like him. Although
Yeah.
he does pull a fucking amazing performance. Don't get me wrong. It never disappointed me.
I don't know. I've watched a lot of his YouTube shows or YouTube. And look, to be fair, I'm going to give some credit here. A lot of these guys that are recording these live shows, they're recording it like way late into the tour. So it just ends up being like, you know, because by the time you get to the end of the tour, you're not as good as you were when you started. You know, you're worn the fuck out. So, like, to be fair, like, a lot of my criticisms may stem from that. But I mean, I've seen him be out of key, like, so bad so many times in so many songs. And it gets, like, really annoying because it makes you wonder. Wait, and bear in mind, like, early on, like, again, Believe album era, he never had that issue. Like, he was pretty on key almost all the time. But I think that surgery like permanently fucked him, and he fucked up the surgery like afterwards anyway. So it doesn't really matter. He said a couple years or a few years later that the surgery that they did on his throat fucking busted. And the thing is, the screaming, he doesn't use proper technique, and this is his words, by the way, not mine. And that was what fucked him up. So. Actually, it's funny because the Serge Tankian just said that recently in an interview. That
I mean, that happened to Sinister from what it called on Avenged Sevenfold. He fucked up his vocals too.
Yeah, well, but Serge in an interview he said that what was it? He said that. He didn't because everybody brings up he doesn't want to do heavy music anymore, right?
Well, he was never a fan of
right.
rock or metal, so
yeah. Well, he said that one of the reasons why was whenever he'd go to concert, he always sounded different because he never learned proper technique, and that it was starting to hurt, you know, and that's why he doesn't do it much anymore. Which I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, it's like you're never too old to go to, you know, music classes to learn how to scream properly, right? So it kind of comes off as an excuse.
I don't know. Last time I heard Vince Neil, I'm like, oh my God, retire. He was horrible. I mean,
Yeah, well-
it wasn't just he was a little bit off key. It was, who is this fucker? I mean, legitimately, it's like you never really sang in a real rock and roll band. That didn't happen. Who is this poor copy of what Vince Neil? What Vince Neil is many decades into the future. Oh, good God. Okay, that's over with.
Remember? Anybody remember the or remember or seen the end of Meatloaf's career and how miserably sad that was?
Oh yeah.
Nope.
It's depressing. It really is. Like his last album, which he did one like a few years ago, and it was pretty bad.
Well, he legit blew his eardrums out.
Yeah.
There
And
was one point when he was performing. This is one of his most popular stories that he likes to tell. He came off stage before they did an encore, and they're like, "Well, what's that?" And he's like, "What's what?" And the lady reaches up with a handkerchief, wipes away what he thought was sweat in his ear, and it was blood. He had like popped his fucking eardrum.
No, it was
Damn.
Meatloaf ketchup.
Meatloaf again. Get your ass off the table. There's a nice Rocky Horror reference for everyone.
But yeah, he I know his last concert that I saw, I was actually just talking about this earlier today. He couldn't sing the song at all, so he was lip syncing and then fucking collapsed on stage while the vocal track was still playing.
Ouch.
Yeah, like that's the bane of fame right there, you know? Like where the image becomes more important than, you know, what you're famous for.
Okay, yeah, this is and I'll just do it in time. I'm not gonna play the whole goddamn thing, but let's give a little of Vince. Wait a minute, gotta do studio mode because I'm a responsible person.
You are?
Somewhat. Okay. So yeah, this is from is it Jimmy Kimmel? Yeah, okay. This is from Live with Jimmy Kimmel. So let me transition over and we'll play some. You guys aren't going to be able to hear it, of course, because I
Thank
still
God.
haven't figured that shit out.
Hey, there's Mr. Ellen, 002.
Okay, they're going to flag me for this. And that's not even the worst one. I'll tell you what. Wait a minute. Act like there. I make it go away now. I am magic. Is it this one? I think it might be. Alright, let's see. Oh, wait a minute. I've got this button where I can go like this, then go like this, then I can wait till they actually get the fuck out of the stage. Okay, let's see. Well, he's got the ooh yes down.
Morning, butt cheeks.
Let's get him over here. Oh, Butt Cheeks is here?
Mhm.
Hello, Blue. Oh! Pick a key. Oh, that was bad. Although
It's a
the
real band.
yeah, that's the Vince Neil band.
It sounds like a garage high school cover band.
Yeah, well, you know, if he's you know not really paying in anything but nachos and gas money. Oh man, he looks horrible. He looks really bad. He should stop. I mean, can he? Did he like fuck away all of his money? Does he not have a net worth or something? I mean, good God. There does come a time when you have to stop. In sports, it's a shit ton easier because you know, body done. But I'm just, I'm amazed.
I can't listen to anymore.
To whom?
To the band that you were playing,
Motley Crue?
whoever that was.
Well, the second one was the Vince Neil band, and he was singing a Motley Crue song.
Oh yeah, Vince Neil band. Yeah, I couldn't listen to it anymore. I stopped.
He's fucking garbage.
Yeah, it's. Whew. Yeah.
Well, the weird thing about it is that he was really shitty when he really started, took a header into all the drugs and shit, and he got really, really bad. Then he sobered up and he came back, and there was this small window where shit actually sounded good. And then that window fucking slammed shut. And then apparently he gained another 100 pounds.
Jeez.
He looks like what would happen if the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man raped somebody. That's the kind of baby they would have. And no, we here at the IRS do not in any way condone rape.
I do.
I still can't. No, I'm just... Call me old-fashioned.
Well, back in your day, it wasn't called rape. It was called a struggle snuggle.
Maybe.
Good job making it worse.
You're so welcome.
Where's my money, bitch?
I thought back in his day it was called Friday.
Ooh.
Sorry, I'm typing something.
Bearman says you can't rape the willing, and that's not true. You punch them first.
Seriously, Blackhead, what is wrong with you?
What? I guarantee if you punch a woman in the face, she'll no longer be willing, and therefore you can happily have said rape.
What if she's one of those kind of freaks?
Then I guess you take the penoid route and chain her to a radiator and forget about it.
Ooh.
There we go.
If rape is off the table, kidnapping is always an option.
I don't know. I've been watching this YouTuber, That Chapter, and it's he sounds like an Irishman, and he tells stories about how people try to get away with murder and stuff. And I've just been fascinated watching the stupidity of people. They can the only time they ever got away with anything is if the case was too old, or the evidence was completely buggered.
Mm-hmm. No, I used to watch Forensic Files with my mom back when that show was a thing. And I remember watching this one where this guy basically almost completely got away with it. And the only reason they were able to pin the person at all was because he made the mistake of spitting out his fucking gum on the ground.
How stupid.
Yeah.
You do like a smart gay man and you swallow.
Yeah. And I saw another one where this guy almost got away with it, but unfortunately he was a chain smoker and they found his cigarette butt pile from where he was sitting there waiting for the person to get home. And I'm just sitting here like, oh my God, these are some simple, obvious things. And all these things had one thing in common. It had rained. So water ruins crime scenes.
Oh, so does bleach.
Yeah. But it's like a lot of these things are just people that do really stupid shit, and yeah. And I know in a lot of states, if the case lasts longer than a few days, usually homicide is taken off the case if no evidence is found.
Well, the TV series, The First 48 Hours. It's based on that, where if you don't get a perp within the first 48 hours, the percentages drop dramatically, like 50%, and then 25%, and just keep dropping. I mean, sharply drop.
Yeah, I mean, if it goes to cold case, you pretty much got away with it.
Huh. Is it possible to rape a sex doll?
Yes.
I mean, I guess it depends what you say.
If you go into a store that sells sex dolls and you have sex with one without the consent of the retailer, that is rape of the sex doll.
I don't know if I can necessarily agree with that, but I don't have much brain power left right now.
And this is how I win chess matches.
Yeah, anytime I play chess, or somebody invites me to play chess, I'll sit down, all the pieces are lined up. They usually let me be white so I can do the first move. And Monopoly rules kick in, and I just flip the chessboard and walk away.
Yeah, I thought about making a video a long time ago where I was going to play chess in the video, it's a skit, and then they let me make they make a move and they say, okay, your turn, and then I just shoot them, and that's the whole skit, and then say checkmate bitch or something like that. But it was funny.
Oh, I had not necessarily a similar, but the setup of a wrestling match where it's falls count anywhere, anything goes. And so
you shoot him.
Yeah, so the guy walks out and just splits his grill, and yeah. Oh.
Actually, that would be a great wrestling little segment if they had that. Had some heel character that just goes full heel and just fake shoot somebody, and make everybody believe like he really shot him. You know?
Well, way back in the day, the WWF ran a storyline between Steve Austin and Brian Pillman.
Mm-hmm.
And Austin was the aggressor at this point. Pillman could play the cowardly dog really well. So Austin said he was coming for him. The show that night was in Cincinnati. And Pillman lives in Norwood. And Norwood is just literally just across the river from Cincinnati in Kentucky. So Steve Austin goes to his house, and Pillman's classic line was, "Well, Austin 316 says I just whooped your ass," and he's like, "But Pillman," and he pulls out a Glock and cocks it and goes, "But Pillman 9mm says I'm going to shoot your ass." So they, how magically WWF cameras appeared in Pillman's home. Never mind. But it came to one point to where the back door, somebody was busting the glass and breaking in. And it was Austin. And apparently all of Pillman's family was there because they tried to grab him and stop him. And they didn't. And it ended, the camera cut out with Pillman aiming the pistol at Austin. And they drew so much shit for that angle.
Yeah, like WWF was so much more edgy. Like I remember growing up watching that in like WCW, and the shit back then was so much more edgy than it is today.
Yeah, I fucking hate the Attitude Era. It's fucking disgusting. But Vince McMahon wanted to turn it into a family show. That's why.
Yeah, well, I remember watching like whenever CM Punk was there last. It was pretty funny. Like they did some entertaining stuff with that era, or before CM Punk left. But I will say, like after he left, it really seemed to just fall apart. Like I'm not saying like he held it all together or anything like that. It's just to say that CM Punk ultimately seemed like one of the last old school mic technique users other than Chris Jericho, right? Like it was kind of like, I don't know, to me it was them two as far as mic technique. And the rest were kind of boring.
I mean,
that were left.
They were good on the mic. There are several that's good on the mic. I still think Miz is good on the mic.
I hate the Miz.
But
I find him very obnoxious. He's good at being obnoxious. That's kind of
his point.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. Like a lot of them, the ones that were left, like weren't as good. I guess I don't know. I'm not going to say I hated the Attitude Era. I don't know. But I can see why somebody would hate it compared to the what was prior. Like prior to that, it was pretty edgy. They did a lot of fucked up shit.
Dude, they have a roster that has a ton of talent on it that they're just not using. And Jim Cornette did a show where he went through the entire WWE roster, and there was over 150 guys on that fucking roster.
Actually, I quit watching also because because they pushed that one faggot like so fucking hard, and it rubbed me the wrong way, and I just couldn't watch anymore. And I can't remember his fucking name. He's another Samoan, and he did the Superman punch. Ugh.
Oh, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, Reigns. They pushed him so hard, like, and
nobody fucking hated him.
Dude, he's Universal Champion right now.
Yeah, because they're pushing him that hard. But ultimately, I quit watching, like, largely because after CM Punk left, they were pushing Roman Reigns, like, so fucking hard. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
I'm just saying, he must have sucked some really good dick, too, you know?
Yeah, actually, I had the same comment.
Dude, Alpha and Sika are his uncles. they will fuck your ass up. I don't even care if they're in their 70s. They're fucking Samoans. They will beat you bloody.
Yeah, they can say that to my shotgun, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna work.
I mean, that still doesn't change the fact that Roman Reigns is boring.
And a piece of shit. Well, he's not a piece of shit. I just
Oh,
Well,
dude,
not
when
like-
they did that, I have leukemia thing, and then he's like, comes back in 18 months or something. He's like, I'm cured.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh my god, were you working that?
Yes.
I'm just like, Roman, you should have left. Nobody wanted you there. Enjoy your recovery for the rest of your life because you made bank. You got paid very well to be a superstar. So fuck right off. Give some of these young people a chance. I mean, for God's sakes, let AJ Styles hold the belt for longer than a month.
Yeah, Buzz of the Hive said much of the blame is on the writers, and yeah, like Triple H. He's a terrible writer.
Well, now here's the difference. Triple H runs NXT, and it's a completely different conglomerate that's running Raw and SmackDown. Now on Raw and SmackDown, they are legitimately given scripts. They're not allowed to cut their own promos. So this is the disparity that you're seeing right now. Is literally these guys aren't able to say words that would naturally, in their opinion, come out of their mouths. They're being told you need to memorize these lines, you need to hit these points, and that's it. You're in, you're out, you're done. Now with NXT, the Triple H, they're given a framework, but they are allowed to improvise.
Yeah, Roman Reigns can't remember his lines either. It's pretty funny.
Oh, I've seen him mess up more than once.
Yeah, I remember watching CM Punk call him out on it, which was pretty great.
That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
And CM Punk also would just like go against the written script, which was pretty great. Like to me, like that's what it should have been all about in the first place, right? You know.
Dude, I think that's a work shoot. Basically, I think that basically what they said was, okay, do a couple of truisms, get the fans on your side, and, then these are the points that we want you to hit while you're being this rebel, while you're doing this shoot. I really am suspect of the fact that he actually did what he did and didn't have approval. Because this is the fucking WWE.
Bunny left my server. I'm
No.
Bunny would never leave my server, but she is asleep.
She just left my server. I don't think she's asleep.
Okay, let me see.
Might have just woken up. Wait, she was here in the chat earlier.
Yeah, I thought she went to bed.
I think she's mad because I made a joke about her scarf.
Oh, you went too far, homie.
Yeah. Somebody said her scarf looks good, and I said it looked awful.
Well,
But
I mean, everybody knows
but
you're an
I-
asshole. So.
But I added an emoji, so it's okay.
You think that's the cute part. You thought when it came to women.
Look,
Fucking-
if you take anything I say seriously, and then take it seriously if there's an emoji attached to it, that's all on you.
I mean,
Okay, hold on a second. Hey, Bunny, you want to stop by? You can yell at Vlad.
Or are we like,
God, that's a dick move, Doc. That's a dick move.
Come yell at Vlad.
Yeah, fuck you. I've been too nice for like many weeks now.
well, I mean, to be fair, I won't understand what she's saying. Like her speaking in Swedish or whatever the fuck she talks in.
That pendulum had to swing, gaming.
Uh-huh.
You can only be nice for so long. Uh-oh. She's typing.
yeah.
She is really typing. I'm expecting the next Norwegian novella.
You know, I really don't like when people do that.
She
Wait,
says,
you-
nah, he thinks he left because what he said about my scarf. And laughing emoji.
Yeah, she's like, I left because he's a total piece of shit, not
That's
because of
shit.
this emotion.
I'm okay with that.
It's okay, Vlad. I still love you.
Vlad, weren't you the first person to kick somebody out of my server?
Mm.
Well, I was given permission.
Let's see.
I was
Remember my
given-
first kick? It was
That wasn't the question, Your Honor. I direct the witness to answer the question.
Oh, I answered the question. It just yes, I was, but I was given permission.
Who'd you kick?
Antoine.
Hmm.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Was it? No, it wasn't Antoine. It was. I think it was Vamp. I think one of those people.
It was. God damn it, you guys! Only thing I could think of is forehead chick now.
Oh yeah, the astrology cunt. I think that's who that was. Yeah. Why do you ask?
Oh, nothing. Bunny's leaving somewhere. By the way, she said she left like a half dozen servers today.
Yeah, it's everybody's excuse. But yeah, no, I also kicked Antoine though too. I know for a fact I did do that.
Now that one I approved of because he was being douchey.
Yeah, like but I
That-
can't remember what the other chick was.
That was around the time when he was sending me messages like, "Oh, you got to get this person in line. You got to get this person in line." It's like I'm not a fucking football coach in high school.
Yeah,
Fuck
well,
you.
he was doing that because I kicked that chick. And I wrote "Begone Thought" when I did it for the reason.
God, what is her name? She goes
Bless-
in the chat-
Blossom.
Blossom. Thank you. Only thing I could think of was Dead Kitty 1.
Yeah, Blossom. Oh wait, sorry, I didn't thought of it. It was Tess. Thank you, Tess.
Thanks,
But I
Taz.
can't even remember. I can't even remember why, or there was a conversation about it, and I can't remember why.
I don't either. I just came in on the end of it, and I'm like, I asked somebody, I'm like, so yeah? And this person confirmed, and I'm like, okay.
But
Right.
I wouldn't have done it on my own accord. I didn't, so, you know what I mean?
Oh, God. I still have the DMs from fucking Antoine. And it's just like it's like he thought I ran a kinder care on the internet. And if
Well, you know what the best part is to all that? I actually have a tweet that he tweeted where he said, instead of listening to other people, you should go to the person that you're talking about. He never does that. So instead of going to me and saying, why did you kick me or why did you kick Blossom, he goes to you.
well,
Pathetic.
And actually on my own Discord, I kicked him out of mine. And then he came back in asking why, and then I kicked him again. And then he ended up on my live stream later where he said that me kicking him off my server gave him so much anxiety that he had to leave work.
Oh my lord.
but of course.
It was hilarious. And unfortunately, Zell actually clipped that part and put it in a video, and then his channel's gone. So I don't know if his channel got flagged down or what, but it's gone.
I don't think he's friend with me no mo. I'm not seeing it.
But the reason I had kicked him out was just because he was annoying me.
That's technically a reason if it's your server.
Yeah, in my server, there's one rule, and that's it. And that is don't piss off mods. That's it. That's the whole rule.
Yeah. There's, I mean, I'm pretty much the only one that's modding right now, and that's because, you know, nobody's gonna know that I'm running except for fucking me.
Well, you see, I have a very equitable server. So I have a person that's like a moderate, that political moderate. That's a mod, right? I have a Canadian that's a mod, okay, and then I have basically a full blown like SJW that's a mod, you know, and then some random people. Oh yeah, Turish is a mod.
Turish is a forever mod everywhere.
Yeah, and someone else I can't remember, but he's actually the second Canadian, but he's like the right wing Canadian to the SJW Canadian that's also a mod. So yeah, so like basically the reason I have it set up that way is just because anarchy. That's basically my whole Discord.
Wow! After all
I
this,
like it.
A viable ninja didn't unfriend me, but sure as shit, I got unfriended and blocked by Antoine.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, not shocking. He's a whiny bitch.
Yeah, but he held in there for a while. He kept coming back with, "You need to do this," and I'm like, "You need to suck my dick. Ain't gonna happen."
You're running a Discord server, not a daycare.
Well.
JJ is in the waiting room.
Oh.
Shit,
Yeah, if I wouldn't.
you got it done.
Oh. I was lifting my balls because I'm old and I was sitting on them.
Oh man, you had to reach all the way down to the floor before they're getting cold by the the floor. Was
No,
the floor cold?
no, I'm only wearing sleep shorts. But, just like my dick, I can't keep my balls from hanging out of them now. Wait a minute, what happened to JJ?
Oh, I guess he left the waiting room? Okay.
Come on, it was only 2 minutes. Ah.
Why isn't Beerman in here? I want to sexually harass him.
I made the offer, and you did not wanna. And of course, Blue's always welcome to stop in if she likes. Now I'm paranoid about rolling up my fucking tubing.
Maybe you could ask the nurse if they have that sticky tape so you could tape it closer to the fucking things, the fucking tube closer to your skin so you don't have to worry about pulling on it and shit.
Well, but I've got 2 different rigs.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's rigged to my arm. So, I mean, the only thing, what I have been doing is taking the tubing. Oh, Bearman says because he doesn't like Discord.
Hipster.
Was taking the tubing, running it up through my shirt, so when I take my shirt off, I don't have to unhook the tubing or anything. But I take one of the tags, and it's like a weight tag, in case there's a disruption in the line and it breaks and everything. Then that little sensor goes off. I tuck that in my waistband. So I've got free movement. It's just I have my satchel sitting here next to me. and the tubing that goes into my arm kind of has to be a little bit longer than the tubing that comes out of my foot. And I tell you, that's an interesting way to sleep too. You're on mute, JJ.
Get back, JoJo.
Juju.
Juju too. Well, he's definitely not server muted or anything else like that. So.
But yeah, I was actually gonna say, speaking of kicking people, I usually every once in a while I prune my Discord and kick out like 10 to 13 people.
There's not a lot of interaction in this Discord. I mean, I guess there was quite a bit when there was co-hosting going on, because I would stream regularly. I mean, it's been almost two months? No, wait a minute, because we did broadcast in June, because we did the gay pride, or I did the gay pride thumbnail with everybody in Carmen Miranda dresses. I think that's really driving me nuts, man. That my pick line is really driving me nuts. And this is like the first time, kind of like it's not set in there right, or it's pulling, which it's not. I'm just gonna have her check that tomorrow. I'm just far too paranoid at this point. I need to sleep. That's what I fucking need to do.
Yeah, I'm actually about to go do that myself.
I'm gonna do a cigarette, and then I'm gonna head for the mountains. JJ, oh goddamn, he got it unmuted, but he went gone again.
Well, look, to be fair, the phone app for Discord is absolute trash.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have even attempted it, to be honest with you. I have very few apps on my phone. One of them is Pokemon Go.
Oh Lord.
Hey, I tell you what, that saved me from hours of boredom.
Well, hey, try Call of Duty Mobile.
Oh my God, you're such an idiot.
What?
Do you know how old Doc is? He has like 90-year-old hands with 80-year-old reflexes. Have some fucking consideration, you fucking asshole.
Actually,
Hey, my
Mobile
father,
pretty fun.
before he passed away, was playing games like Warframe, so, suck it.
You mean died?
Gross.
Well, died, yeah, whatever, passed,
okay.
died.
No, Pokemon Go saved my sanity. It's so funny because there are multiple Pokestops around the hospital. So I was my room was equidistant between two Pokestops that I could get to. So when I couldn't leave the bed, I went ahead and played Pokemon Go. Spent about $20 on it. Not worse than some stories I've heard.
I mean, I put $500 in League of Legends.
Oh my God, other people went in and were going after Bunny for this.
What?
A friend of mine went after Bunny for leaving the server.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, it's funny.
I don't think I do purges like seasonally. Like if I haven't interacted with anybody in the server at all in 3 months or so, by, and I did clearinghouse. Yeah, I turned it on. Blue. Okay, I'll put it down. Honestly, I can't wait till all this shit is said and done with, so I can start walking before the summer's over. If the summer's over, I don't mind walking in the fall. Matter of fact, fall is my favorite season.
Like winter.
Bunny, I am not going to be the relay on this. I know if you're out and about, you can't do it, but yeah.
What? Is she trying to use you as a middleman?
Yeah.
I wrote her directly just like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
It's just a joke. She should stop taking it so seriously. I don't care.
Well, yeah, Blue. I actually got my first friend in Turish. Turish was okay. I want to make sure no fuckery happened. No fuckery happened. And okay. Yeah, Blue, if you want to send me, I mean, I don't know if you want it out there, but I mean, if you want to send me, I don't know, Twitter, or just hit me up in the Discord DMs. Hook me up with the friend code, and I will be friends with you on the Pokemon Go. No, that'd be cool. I should find somebody in Australia, because legitimately, if you throw a friend invite, it doesn't make a difference where they are. They can come in on the boss battles with you. Thank you. Me too. Thanks for stopping by, Vlad. Yeah, I tell you what. Can't wait for that physical therapist to show up. Have her make my bed. God damn it! I want some nice clean sheets on my bed. Is that too much to ask? Now that I'm not the funkified person that wasn't able to shower for 8 fucking days after he got out of the hospital. That really can affect your brain, dude, if you can't shower. Yeah. That's just filthy. Doesn't make any difference that I'm not doing shit. I'm gonna end up smelling like it. So you're saying that you don't shower together? Yeah, but you're conserving water. Yeah, I've been sitting here. I've been promised by two different people that I'm like, here, I'll even give you the money. Go out and fill up my fucking water jugs for my water dispenser. So far, complete failure. But yeah, that's all I want is to get my water back up because I drink a lot of water, and city water around here is not good. I don't know. Talk. Yeah. The desktop audio shit out. Wait a minute. Okay, that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. Let's do that. See if it fixes it. Okay, talk away. Fuck! No, that didn't do it. That's what worked last time. It's bargain didn't work this time. Let's see if we do this. Okay. Alright, try it. No, you gotta talk more than that. Yeah, this is bullshit. Let's do it. Let's do here. Why don't I make you go look for it? Let's see if you will. Try it.
Hallelujah.
Yep.
Hallelujah. Did I
Yep.
ruin it?
You guys are up.
Boo.
Up just in time to get our sign off here.
Yay. Something.
And now, since the night is over,
Not
So-
damn, it's almost 6 in the morning. Shit.
successfully defending his intergender championship is the AI that we know as Turish. Congratulations, Turish. AI, you are stepping into the Hall of the Immortals. But
Wow.
since you're a computer anyway, you'd probably be immortal anyhow. So, good luck. Congratulations. All those other things. I think I have a Turish AI avatar that I've been sitting on for a while. So
Yeah, I have one too.
So yeah. Joker, anything you'd like to pimp?
Nah, not really.
Okay. Gaming.
I'm on Twitch and on YouTube. Yay! Just search for Gaming and Yelling. Yay!
And that's a good thing. First of all, I would like to thank everybody who made it through that fucking story. Good fucking God. Yeah. It'd probably come out better in the editing bay. Yep. That's true. Secondly, I'd like to thank everybody who was on the show this evening. And third, of course, thanks to everybody who's in the audience, keeping us company for this journey. Always weird, wild stuff, man. And so, thanks everybody for coming out. And until I find something to sign off with, but take care. And challenge yourself every so often. All right. Bye.